Whoa.
当务别切。
Stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions. He loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Captain Coder here on this beautiful, what the heck is the day? Monday. Beautiful Monday, folks. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. I hope you are having a wonderful day. We are continuing our game jam journey today. But I gotta say, Code Monk, welcome back. Congratulations on your #1. Mooniz, welcome back as well. It's wonderful to see you. I know it's noon already, wherever, look, in your day. It's only 4 a.m. here for me. It's only 4 a.m. here, but wherever you happen to be, I hope you're having a beautiful day. So wonderful to see all your beautiful faces. Kilted Ninja, welcome back to the stream. Hero Fox, you're absolutely stellar. Thank you so much for being here. Love, love, love having you. Creative Mouse, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you're having a beautiful day, folks. Hope you're having a beautiful week, beautiful life. I hope you're off to a good start. I know I am. I need to get my my standing pad here. My feet are gonna get all tired if I don't have my standing pad. All right, man, this music's intense. This is a new album. It's not a new album. It's a new album for my stream. We are listening to Harris Heller Stream Beats. This particular album, I can't remember what it's called, but we're listening to the EDM, the electronic dance music, one of the electronic dance music albums. It's pretty intense for me. It's going out there. It's wild. It's crazy. Techno-ish. Techno-esque. We're giving it a shot. Seeing if we like it. Nordice, welcome back to the stream. I hope you are also doing wonderful, my friend. We've made a ton of progress. On our dungeon crawler game. We've been working on our combat system. What was the tune at the start of the stream? Let's see if we can go listen to it. I believe it was... Where are we right now? Sugar Rush. This one? Is this the one you're hearing? Here, we'll restart it. Sugar Rush is, I think, the name of this one. What album is that? The album on Sus. The album is called Sus, is what we're listening to. Yeah, Sugar Rush. Not bad. Not a bad tune. Grumpy, thank you so much for the raid. Folks, you guys don't know the Grumpy Game Dev. Be sure to give Grumpy Game Dev a follow. Give him some love. Yeah, go take a look at it. I am trying to find some new music for my stream. One of the things I didn't quite realize, if you use Harris Heller Stream Beats, you get ads on your YouTube channel. I kept wondering, like, why am I getting ads on my YouTube channel? This is super weird. And it's fine. That's how they make money. That's how Stream Beats is making their money. Is there is a copyright on it? You're allowed to use it. It's not actually. It's DMCA free. It's not copyright free. It's not. What is it called when you don't have to pay royalties? I guess it's like royalty free. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you use it on YouTube, which this ends up on YouTube, they end up running ads on your stuff. And then they give that money over to them, which is fine, good music. But I am looking for some more music. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. Dramulks, welcome back. You're almost there with that Lambo Redeeming Graham. I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. Booyah, Grandma. Booyah! Booyah, Grandma. Welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. And you can, Kilted Ninja, send me a link. Send it to me on the Discord, my friend. I'd love to feature some music. As long as it is original music, and I'm not going to get like my VODs. Some people have sent me music that they've made that are like covers of other songs, and my videos have been taken down because of that. So long as it is original music, awesome. Good XP. Well, hello there, my friend. Welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. All right, what are we working on, folks? What are we working on today? We are continuing our work on the Dungeon Crawler Jam 2024. All this month, that's what we've been working on. I know. People getting tired of it, probably. I'm not, but people might be. The Dungeon Crawler Jam 2024 is a game jam in which you create a classic. The goal is create using classic dungeon crawler mechanics to create yourself a dungeon crawler in the first-person gritter-based perspective, in which your player characters in first-person moves on a grid. So the movement must be grid-based. You can't be in between these. So when I press forward, I move all the way into that next space there. Move all the way into that next space there, just like the classic RPGs of yore. The classic RPGs of yore. Let's draw. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's draw one line here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that perspective. It's like we're 3D without 3D. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that beautiful game. Yeah, perfect. Harris Heller has royalty-free playlists on Spotify for streamers. There are other royalty-free playlists for different genres on Spotify. Good XP. This I'm listening to the royalty-free. I don't have to pay anything, but if you play it on YouTube, they will play ads, and then that money goes to Harris Heller. So that's how they make the money on that, which is fine. It's a great business model, actually. I don't mind it. I just don't want ads on my videos. And so I need to find a different set of music to play. And I haven't yet found it. Alrighty. So let's hop in. We're working on our combat system, the crawler portion. We have a pretty good crawler implementation. I'm working on the combat screen now. We're on the combat of the game. Let's see here. Did this build go through? Let me get my code over on this window here so you guys can see it. Let's see if that will launch. It's building, launching. There it goes. At what time do you go to bed if you're up at 4 a.m.? I never sleep. There's no sleep for the. There's no sleep for. What I was gonna say, sleep is for the weak. Sleep is for the weak. No, I was in bed last night around 7. Vampire confirmed. It's true. All right, so. We have it set up here where we can navigate our character. This is what I was doing. I was implementing my character controller here. And you'll see it's highlighting the character I currently have. So in this game, I want to do, he's a machine, DevCal. More machine than man. I'm a learning machine sent from the future to make video games. Yeah, so we have our character selector here. The font's a little bit, interesting looking here, just because it's the small resolution there. All right, so this is what I was working on. We can select our character this way. I'm working on how we're gonna do combat, and so character selection is gonna work this way. You're gonna select the character. It'll highlight the character on the map. So we actually have to set up, once we have the character selected, one thing I probably want to do is actually, as you're moving between these characters, have the camera move between the characters in the scene. So we're gonna have to figure out how to do that. One thing I'm noticing is my character names aren't coming through. All their stats are coming through. So their stats here are set up. You see these coming through on the character cards. But the name, I just realized I don't have the character names attached to those. So we're gonna add that real quick. Let's go into this prefab here. So I have a character card prefab. Oh, I need to add, you know what it is? I'm missing a field in my character card renderer. My character card renderer needs to have a public text mesh pro UGUI. It's gonna be our name, like that. And then when we render the character, we need to set the name dot value, name dot text equal to character dot card dot name, like that. That's what we're missing here. Skydriver says, "Hi, Captain. How are you? How chat? How are you doing, chat? Are you feeling good?" Look, Skydriver, I'm doing absolutely fabulous. Any day I can wake up and code. Is a beautiful day with the crew, and today is no different. So it's twice as good now that you're here, though, my friend. Not just twice. It's 2K4, 2004 times as good. And the first 4 hours of sleep, your body rests and heals, and after 4 hours, your mind starts to rest, process, and catalog stuff. Interesting. I usually have a little bit of trouble sleeping more than 5 or 6 hours at a time. So I usually actually sleep twice a day. I just sleep twice a day. Once, usually at night, I'll go to bed like 8, 9 o'clock and sleep for 5, 6 hours. And then I sleep another 2 to 4 hours in the middle of the day as well. Works out well for me. Blap. This song is hilarious. Blap. I don't know if you guys heard that. I know the song's probably a bit quiet. All right. Now we have that in there. We need to build this. Go back into our Unity project. It'll recompile here in just a moment. And we're going to attach the name in here. So we go into our prefabs. We're going to open up our character card. Did this build? It did. There it goes.
Whoa.
Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, 42. Thank you for the raid. We got Fix It 42. Fix It 42, folks. Thank you so much for the raid. Fix It, what were you working on your stream? What were you doing? Folks, be sure to give Fix It some love. Thank you so much for the raid. How we doing on this beautiful Monday? Fix It. Thank you so much for the raid again. Oh my goodness, everything's closing. My computer's it's because it's compiling. It's compiling. Norika T, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming along with raid. Thank you, Fix It, for bringing your friends, bringing your crew with us. We got Winroth music as well. 923, Mr. Zombie UK, welcome back as well. Great to have all you beautiful people here. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Something very strange is happening. All my windows just closed. Hang on, give me a second. I gotta reopen all of my windows. They minimized. They didn't close, they minimized. And I don't know why. That was super bizarre. Did OBS crash? Oh no, we're still here. We're still here, hang on. I don't know why they all went down. There we go. Zombie Monkey, welcome to the stream as well. What a great name. Zombie Monkey Martin, not just a zombie monkey. It's a zombie monkey with a name. It's a named character. You shook a window that minute. Well, I didn't, because usually you shake it and everything comes back up, and it didn't come back up when I shook it, so I don't know what happened. I clicked the checkbox. Something like that. Have to fix it. Gotcha. OBS crashed for me twice. Yikes, that sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Folks, if you're new here, I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is a computer science educator. My full-time job, Monday to Friday. My dream job is creating classes, assignments, projects for my students who are aged 10 to 14. I teach computer science and programming. I am this month working on the Dungeon Crawler Jam 2024. It's nice to meet you too, Martin. We are working on Dungeon Crawler Jam 2024. We have about 6 days left to complete our project. We are in the process of implementing our combat system, Zombie Monkey Martin. I have got to say thank you so much for following me, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Zombie Monkey, thank you so much for the follow. Glad to have you here. So we're working on our combat system, and I could show it off a little bit more. He has hats and he sings. It's true. Those statements are both true statements. All right, so over here we want to add in our name like so, and now it should render our characters' names when it boots up. Let's test it. Kilton Ninja, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat stack started. Boom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, fits like a glove. Fits like a hat glove. All right, there we go. So our names are now showing up in there. Not bad, not bad. Okay, what I'd like to do next, all right, one thing we need to do is our first character should start selected, I think. Or the first time we do a selection, there's a couple things we want to look at. I think the first character here is probably going to be selected. Initialize, so in our initialize, we're going to go ahead and set the character cards of 0 dot selected equals true. Is selected here. Hello, Shy Programmer. Welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. All right. Testing UI stuff is always feels really slow to me. And so here we go. Would you want to update them? Nope. Rebuild, building. Shy Programmer, what have you been up to, my friend? Welcome back to the stream. Everything, it's going wonderful. It's going fabulous. We're making progress on our Dungeon Crawler game. So we have, let's go find, I think I have a link to it. Hang on, let me grab the link real quick. It's on my Discord. I got to go find it. Give me just a second. There it is. All right, so here is what we have so far. Nope, that's not it. Try again. There we go. Here's what we have so far. If anyone wants to check it out, you can. It doesn't do a whole lot. This game is very incomplete. This is just to let my... oh yeah, I forgot I wanted to hide this text just in case Zuperdan shows up. But you can move around. You can walk around in the world. You can come over. There's only one spot where anything kind of interesting happens. It's here, and it's just sort of a test framework to show that components of this thing are working. You can move around, you can do things, and have text show up. So we have a dungeon crawler. We have our crawler movement working. We have our character cards showing. I'm in the process of getting our character cards to connect properly in our combat mode. Okay, so when we boot up here in combat mode, it's going to mark it as selected. What I want to do is I need to get my game board. My game board actually renders here. Playing Doom in the library, yeah. So Bob is selected here. We can navigate between Bob, Alice, Sally, and Greg using the forward-back arrows on the keyboard. So these are going to be controls. It's going to be completely keyboard-based, no mouse. We might end up having mouse to open up an options menu or something. But no mouse for the most part. What I want to do is when we select one of these characters, the menu is going to show up. Also, I think what I want is as we're moving through and selecting them, I want it to pan the camera to where they are in the scene. So we're going to have to, we're going to have to add in some stuff to the game scene here to make that work. But let's go ahead and get a commit in here. Add get commit -m sure update character selection mode to highlight characters. And so we have like a character highlight based on what we're doing here. We need to handle this processing here. So right now, if we select a character, nothing happens. But when we do this selection, so on a character selected, oh, I didn't hit space. We would have seen not implemented, go to character. All right. So when a card selection changes, we're going to select the card. We need to, in my mind, pan the camera to that character on the map. So we have a combat map controller here. This is our map as it's defined currently. What I want to do is we need to add in some characters to this map. And this is just a test here where I took these characters and I added them in this way. I'm learning to use Git with the command line now so I can actually understand what you're doing with the commit stuff. I feel amazing that I can understand it. That's awesome, Shy Programmer. That's incredible. I have my students. I tried using GitHub Desktop with them for a little bit, but I actually find that they understand better if we use the command line, knowing what it's doing, not just following the on-screen commands to drag and drop stuff in there and get it working. All right, so what do I want to work on right now? What am I working on? I would like my combat map controller. I need to be able, been using Git for 7 years and I still have no idea what's going on. You'll get there, Booyah, maybe. Look, if you don't actually need it, then that's not that big of a deal. I would like to, we're gonna add a layer here. We need a layer in our map. So right now, if we go to our combat map, come into my scene, our combat map here has a single grid in. This is like the floor map. So this is gonna be the tiles. Okay, I'm gonna call this, grid is fine. So the tiles, I need another one to represent the players and the enemies. So I'm going to create another one here. And this one is going to be called characters. It's going to have characters and enemies / enemies like this. And we need to take our characters and enemies and render them to this spot. We have some placeholder sprites that we can put in there, but we need to add them in as tile map elements. Okay, to be able to have our combat controller actually be able to sense our combat. Oh, this is our character selection. Our combat map controller here right now draws this map, but we need a combat map controller to also place our characters onto the screen, and when the player moves them, they need to move around. Whimsically Made, congratulations on number 11. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. Great to have you here on this beautiful Monday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Shy Programmer, thank you so much for the lurk, with a lurk here and a lurk there. Here, lurk there, lurk everywhere, lurk. Have a beautiful lurk, my friend. Know that you're welcome back anytime. Let's turn off this one. We're going to add in a different tile palette. Let's go ahead and delete. Let's open up my tile palette. Window. 2D tile palette. I need to erase all of this stuff here. Get rid of this. Okay. So erase our map here. What I want to do is we're going to add in to our dungeon palette here. Zoom out. We're going to add in some character sprites. These are just placeholders. I'd say it's a gloomy Monday, but I'll take your word for it. Gotcha. Well, it was gloomy here yesterday. It was rainy, it was wet, it was cold and windy. I'm hoping today will be better. All right, so we have some placeholder portraits. And I'm just going to put in here for now. Okay, just for now. See if that'll work. I see. I'm going to have to set these to 32. Is that right? Yeah, we'll set these to 32. 32. Maybe we do a little bit less so they don't take up the entire space. Let's see, if I did 48, would they take up? Yeah, we'll do 48 on these. Does that mess with my game view at all? It doesn't. Okay. Because that is a different type of rendering. So we'll do a 1. Which sprites am I using? 1. These are just placeholder sprites. 2. And we'll swap these out with others as we get them more in there. So these are going to be our 4-player character things. We just drop these on the screen. If our artists get us stuff, awesome. If our artists don't get us stuff, then we'll just keep these in there. These are our placeholder sprites. They look a little bit too nice for placeholder sprites. So someone once told me, and I thought this was a really cool idea. If it wasn't a Game Jam game, I think it was Grumpy said, the best way to get your artist to produce stuff for you in your game is to put terrible placeholder art in. So put placeholder art that just looks awful, and it'll motivate them, be like, oh well, I'm the artist on this game. I don't want it, because when the game gets posted, you say who the artist is. So if you put this terrible placeholder art in place, they don't want their name attached to it. Exactly. So this is almost too nice, right? But I thought that was a hilarious. I think Grumpy Game Dev gave me that advice. It lowers the threshold, right? So like I have this good art. This is free open source art here, and they'll come back at the artist might be like, oh well, it's going to be hard to make the art better than this, but hopefully we do have some character art already. All right, so these are going to be our character arts here, and what I want to do is we need to have a look up in our map for drawing our characters out. So I'm thinking here, I need to think here about how I want it. I could do here. Let's go into our scene view real quick. So here is our tiles. My character and enemies, I could just draw these on now, right? They're behind, so we need to move this up a layer. Let's create a sorting layer. Let's do sorting layers. Add 2. This is going to be our floor, tiles, and this is going to be characters. Okay, tiles and characters. And if we go into our tiles, we'll set this to be tiles. And then here, we'll set this to be characters. And now our characters should appear on top. So I could put a character here. I could put a character here. I could put a character here. And I could put a character here. There's something interesting about this. I need to actually have a way to take a character and select them to draw it on the map. So my character enemy grid here, I'm gonna need to reference this. This is my tile map. We'll call this tiles. I'm about to break something. This is our tile map. Let's not do it. Let's add a new one. Field, serialize field. Okay. This is going to be our public tile map. This is going to be our character map. Like this. And we need to have some sort of dictionary, some sort of tool that given a character, given a player character, given an enemy, knows which of these to use. So we need like a little database to look these things up. And so I think I'm going to make a scriptable object for that. So that, again, given a player character card, we need to be able to pull out the appropriate icon for that player character. And you could, so that's, anyway, we're gonna do that real quick. I need to add in, I'm gonna create a scriptable object for this. Okay. So I'm gonna create a new, this is going to be our combat icon database. Okay. And we'll put this in the same namespace here. Public class combat icon database. To the scriptable object. And the main functionality of the scriptable object needs to be the following. Needs to return a tile base. So a tile base is a thing that can be put into a map. And the function name is going to be get tile base. And it's going to take in a player character to render. And we could make it taking a player character card. And for now, I'm just going to return a null. Or actually, I'm going to have this throw a not implemented exception yet. Not implemented exception. We got to think it through here. Shy Programmer, congratulations on number 12. Thank you so much for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack. Boom. Beautiful, beautiful hat there. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Okay. Kilted Ninja with the almost 8K points there. Cruising on up. Cruising on up. Look, folks, for being so amazing. 125 points, all you beautiful people, just for being here, for being amazing, for being sweet, wonderful human beings. Throw new, not implement exception. So the idea here is I'm going to have in a field here. Serialize field. Serialize field. This is going to take in a combat icon database. Icon database. And we'll be able to use this to render the correct sprites onto the map. I like this one too. It's a pretty sweet hat. It's a pretty sweet hat. All right, so this is our map. Let's add in some, I gotta finish this, but let's add in some player characters. We're gonna have 4 player characters. And I created 4 characters here. These are just sort of temporary placeholder characters. We're gonna add these in though. Like so. Doesn't it get warm with all those hats on your head? It can. It can. Hats are interesting because they keep you warm, but they also keep you cool. The inflation on these with all the handouts. That's right, Whimsically Made. We got to keep inflating that currency. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so our combat map. We need to add our characters to this with I'm gonna write a little method here. Public, do we already have a thing called initialize? We have a build map. Okay, so that's why we're doing it. So build map is sort of the initialize method I was gonna do. To the paint hack, if you have paint open, you put the cursor in paint, press spacebar, and you can draw the arrows even diagonal. Interesting, I did not know that. Player characters here is going to be equal to a new dictionary, like this. Okay. And we're going to add these player characters in. We kind of need something interesting about this. I'm going to create a static class for us to use temporarily. Create a new, and it might just be a hack that we do for this game jam. Characters like this. I'm gonna create a new characters.cs. I'm gonna create a static class for us that has these characters in them, and we'll use this to swap them out. It might make sense to make them into scriptable objects, but this will be our hack for now. Public static class characters. And these are going to be our 4 player characters. Let's comment this out. Boom. There we go. Congratulations on your number 13, Sidrin. Sidrin was almost first today. Sidrin showed up at 2 a.m. this morning, 2 a.m. local, about 2.5 hours, about an hour and a half before the stream started, and did first, but it doesn't work that way. It's a nice try, though. It's a nice thought, Sidrin. It's a nice thought out there. Sidrin, how you doing, my friend? It's okay. Many people, look, you're not the first. If you were the first person to try it, you would have done it. But it's been done before, and that's why there's a safeguard in place. Public static player character. We're going to call this is going to be our base character here. If you do 3rd and 4th, it's just a redo of the first commands because people would try it. So I have it. It goes all the way to 10th. It goes all the way to 10th. It's just an alias for first. Character 1. So this is our default. Like maybe this needs to be character card. Character card. Really, there's anything character A. It's gonna be this. Yeah. That's what we'll do. Equal goes to. We can make it this. Get equals this here. And then we'll uncomment that. And we'll get rid of this. And then we'll see what the format does for us. There we go. Okay. So we have character A. Copy this. B, C, and D. Character B. Character C. Character D. Like this. Mark! Congratulations on number 14. Welcome back to the stream. Mark, how have you been? What have you been working on, my friend? It's wonderful to have you here. Always a pleasure when you can make it, not when you get to make it, but when you can make it, it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. I hope you've been well. How is your game dev journey coming along? Baran. Baran. We got a Sally in here. These are just placeholders. We are going to have specific characters in here, but they're placeholders for now. Great. All right, do a format, clean that up a hair. So I'm reusing these over and over again. I'm good. Got a bunch of good feedback on my jam game. Awesome. So I'm going to do a little bit of sprinkling on that there little thing. Nice. So here we go. In our... yeah, this is good. This is good. Because now we can say, hey, if your card is equal to this thing, we're going to pull you out that way. Yeah. That's what we'll do. Okay. Let's go to our... Oh, we got the hat, double hat. Mark and Sidrin, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack. Boom, 1 hat. Boom, 2 hats. Thank you for the hats, my friends. This is where all my powers come from. The more hats I have, the more powerful I become, and the greater my code can be. This is going to be our characters dot character A. Card equals like that. Simplify this stuff just a hair. Card equals characters dot character B. Card equals characters dot character C. And then when I swap these out, it'll sort of make everything look a little bit nicer. Characters dot character D. Boom. Simplified. Yep, gotta wait 3 hours of cooldown on there. Let's make it legendary. That's exactly the GitHub everything. Yeah, Thidrin. Yeah, only as a team, only as a crew can you mutiny and get a hat stack overflow. It's happened a few times. But it takes a little bit of effort. You guys have to work together as a team if you want to fulfill the hat stack redeem. But we do have this. This is what happens. Where is it? Thank you for the hat. I have as many hats as it takes. 2 hats. Connie, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to that stack. Thank you so much for the hat redeem. It's a hat burrito. It's right. That's right. Thank you for the hat redeem. I appreciate it. All right, let's hop back in here. We are in the process of doing a little bit of a refactor here. But yeah, I got quite a few hats. Oh, we gotta adjust it. We gotta zoom out a little bit. We got a lot of hats on here. I do wear many hats. That's what I've heard. All right, so now over here in our combat database, I need to have sort of this entry system where I have an array of, like, I need some way to look up the characters. And so I'm just gonna do it by name. I think he's now hat of development. How are y'all? Connie Dev, I'm doing wonderful. I hope everyone else is doing wonderful well. I do wear many hats. Oh, my screen's not showing. All right. Someone's got to say something. All right, here we go. Public. Full box. Good morning, my friend. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome back to the stream. Happy Monday, my friend. I hope you're off to a good start this week. Yeah, essentially, okay, I need to do something like this. Man, this is tricky. I'm gonna do names to, yeah, that's what I'll do for now. Names to tile bases. Okay, so I need an array that looks like this. Public, we're gonna serialize this. Serializable. It's gonna be a public icon entry like this, and the icon entry is gonna have 2 fields, so it's gonna be a public string name and a public base tile base icon. So this is gonna be how we pull this information out, like this. And we can just do a default here like that to make the compiler not complain about it. I need some coffee, but this music will do just fine. Fuelbox, get you charged up, get you going, get you revved up in the morning. How's your game coming along, Fullbox? Folks, if you guys don't know, the incredible, the wonderful, the fabulous, the unstoppable Fullbox, also a streamer here on Twitch, creating a really cool looking puzzle game. I can't wait to try it out and play it. Be sure to give him some love. Fullbox, we've got some links for us. Feel free to drop them in the chat. We love to see it. We love to see it, but click that follow, folks. Give them some love. Okay, so we're gonna have in here a serializable, pretty good actually. I had a nice playtest last Friday. Awesome, the feedback was super great. Awesome. How do people get in on the playtest? Is there a way? Can anyone get in on the playtests? Do they have to sign up? Do they come to your stream? Do you have a Discord? How do they do it? If people want to playtest your game, how do we get in there to do it? Icon entry array entries like this. Okay. Get set. Okay. And then we will, when we go to, basically we're just going to scan this thing and find the right entry. We could optimize it a little bit and have a dictionary, but for now, we're just going to do the following. I'm going to say for each, and let's do it a default tile base default icon, public tile base default icon equals, and then we're going to put a default here like this. It was public event in a city near me. Oh, you did it in person. I might open some private playtests of my own soon. Gotcha. BK, welcome back to the stream. The next showcase, good question. Yeah, the command's disabled because I don't know when it is. Or I think it's disabled. It might be share. I believe it's going to be April 20th. Not 100% sure, but the plan as of right now is April 20th. So the third Saturday of April. Got something cool to show off. Awesome. You always got something great cooking, BK. I can't wait to see it. So we're going to go through each entry. Icon entry. Entry in entries. And like I said, we could optimize this, but there's only going to be a few things in there. So actually making a dictionary has some level of overhead on it. So we're not going to do too much optim. We're just going to do this for now. We're going to say if entry dot, you know what we could do? Entries dot where e dot name is equal to player character dot card dot name. And we're gonna say first or default. Oh, look at this link. And the default is gonna be default icon. Oh, we can't do first or default. We gotta then do. It's interesting. Okay, I can't quite do what I want. And the default would be null. All right, and we'll do a icon entry question mark entry. And we'll say we could do this entry like this and default icon. We can't do that still. Okay, so we do need to do this, and then I say tile base and return entry dot icon. Otherwise default icon. Look at that. Look at this confusing code that only C# developers would understand. What a weird line of code that isn't entirely clear what's going on. You have to really know what the null coalescing operator does. That means a lot coming from an experienced dev like you. Oh, I always love this stuff. The code is confusing. Yeah, is that some null coalescent stuff? Yeah, null coalescing operator. This code right here is a little bit confusing. What it's saying is if entry is null, return default icon like that. Otherwise, return entry.icon. So it's the same as this. And I think it's going to tell me here, convert to conditional expression. Yeah, it wants me to do this. I think this reads better. I think this reads better here. First of all, can take a predicate. Does the predicate do a transformation? Well, hang on. Oh, you're saying first? Okay. I assumed that this was doing first or default. All right, so you're saying I could do the following. E goes to E dot name equals player character dot card dot name. Ooh. And this returns null otherwise, I'm assuming. Okay, we can do this. And then, yeah, I think this is okay. Okay, which happens to be null in this case. Not entirely satisfied with this, but it's okay. We're just scanning over it. I could make a dictionary. But I don't care that much. It returns the default of the type. Yeah, provide a default value after create if you need to. It didn't like the, it didn't like when I did this. No method over for that takes 2 arguments. It's okay. This should work fine. This is gonna pull us out, so we gotta go make one of these. So we have to add in a create menu, asset menu. File name is going to be combat icon database. And the menu name is, what is the menu convention that I'm currently gonna create? Data, okay. Create data, okay. Data slash combat icon database. Okay, let's do a build here. See how we do. It's because default icon is a tile base. Yeah, I can't do a select here, but we are getting out an icon entry, right? And so we're pulling out one of these. Yeah, I wanted to do a transform on it at the end, but I can't because this is just a default thing. So it's like a first. It's fine. I think this reads fine. Did we build? Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. No wonder. I think the null coalescing is a little bit confusing. Oh, you're suggesting I do. Yeah, I think that's it. I think this is a little. This reads better in my opinion than doing the chained link thing. If I did that as a return statement instead, yeah. So I do think that this reads better than chaining that together, right? So I could do dot select. Oh, it doesn't let me do a dot select. Because it is no longer a list, right? So this would have to be the where. Yeah, I can't do a question mark select on it. I have to have some kind of method that lets me do a transform. Okay, so I could do this icon or default icon. So we could do this. Tile base. Okay, I could do this. Okay, I actually don't mind this. So this becomes that. This doesn't look that bad. Yeah. So I think this isn't that bad. And then we're able to do this. I like that. It's a little bit long for one line. This confuses a lot of people. Yeah, I like this. What I'll say is this thing, it shouldn't confuse a lot of people. You have to learn what it is, but people see it and go like, oh, this code now it's complex, it's crazy, it's weird, I don't get it. I think this is a really good functional programming thing to use for when you want an expression. So this whole thing is now an expression rather than a series of statements. No, this is not unique to C#. No coalescing operators exist in other languages. TypeScript has it. I think TypeScript has it. I don't know if JavaScript has it, but TypeScript definitely does. Yeah. Kotlin as well. Many languages have it. It's a very functional, well, say it's a functional thing to do because this is it's just typically when you learn to program, people are learning in a statement-oriented way, right? So in many programming, like, not sure that chapter has it given the creators, yeah. So the cool thing about this is a declarative statement, right? So this is an expression that says what I want, not how to get it. It's saying find, if it's able to find a better way to get the first, it doesn't have, like, under the hood, I know that it's iterating over this thing, but I'm not telling it explicitly that I want you to iterate everything. I'm saying, if you know how to find the first or defaults faster, go ahead and do it. And then we have this thing over here that says, okay, and then get the icon, or if that was null, go ahead and get the default icon. It's a very declarative way of writing the answer there. Think what the coalescing has had it since ECMA 2020. Gotcha. ECMAScript, yeah, JavaScript has had that. And so turns out JavaScript is ECMAScript, isn't it? Or maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's go into we have our database. So I have to add that in there. We have our combat controller. I needed to add into my combat. I have too many things open. Character selection mode, controller, combat icon. Where is my combat controller? Nope, I need combat map controller. Here it is. As yours should be able to just set the default. In theory, that statement shouldn't need question mark. The problem I have with that SMAP is this is a different type than the icon entry. So I could make a icon entry default and then make this equal to a new. I have to set this in the inspector. So I can't, it's a Unity issue, right? I have to inspect this in the inspector because I have no way to construct this via code. Or maybe I do, but basically in the inspector I have to drag and drop this icon into a slot. But if I did this, I could do it this way, default, right? I could do it this way, default, and then this becomes default dot icon. See, I don't see this one. Hang on, first or default. It seems to be telling me I can't specify a default. Yeah, and only taking in the predicate. And this could be because I'm in Net Standard 2. I'm in Net Standard 2.1. That's probably what's going on. All right, I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this for now. My guess is I'm in Net Standard 2.1. That method doesn't exist in Net Standard 2. Yeah, it needs 6 or there it is. There it is. I was also confused by that. All right, there we go. I was gonna add in some player characters here. So these go from position. So let's do a new position. Let's put this character at 2-2. And then we're gonna do a new player character. Just to test this out, card equals characters dot character A. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, I need curly braces. There we go. 2-2. Let's add a character at 4-2. B, C, and D. And let's put this character at or 0, and we'll put this character over here, so it'd be like, let's try 9, comma 2. It'll be like down here somewhere. And when we build this thing, we need to go into our character map. Character map dot clear all tiles. We're gonna do a for each. We're gonna go through all of our keys in our dictionary. For each position and player character in to build dot player characters. So we're gonna go through each one of these. We didn't know what Captain was listening to such heavy stuff. Yeah, I'm trying out a new playlist today, Moonness. And I'm looking for Kilted Ninja. Thank you for sending me some stuff. But isn't the dot icon of the default not the actual default? Kilted Ninja, I missed your question. It's not. So default here is going to be null. Yeah, it's gonna be null. So first or default returns the first thing it finds, or no, it was smab that as well as. Okay, gotcha. I can't set the default to be something else because of the version of .NET we're using. Jormunda, thank you for the hat. Let's get a hat on the stack. There we go. Thank you for the hat redeemed, Jormunda. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday, beautiful week. So now that we're gonna do this, we're gonna do our character map dot set tile, and it's gonna be our. So notice something interesting here. I'm about to write this a second time. It makes me want. I need to have a position 2 vector 3 like int here, so I don't mess this up. So I'm gonna write an extension method. Public static, and it could be an internal static. Position extension, static class position extensions, and we're doing public static. This is going to be a vector 3 int, 2 vector 3 int. And we're going to take in a position, and we're just going to turn it into one of these here. We know. Just so, because it's not a straight conversion, tile X and negative tile Y needs to be in there. So just to keep it consistent across the tile maps, we are going to do this here. So this is going to be our tile.to vector 3 int. A little surprised that didn't come through. Public static this. There it is. Thank you, Nordice. Got it. Here, I might as well push a hat to that stack. Jormunda, we appreciate it here. We appreciate that hat. Keeping my head nice and warm. Now we're going to do a position dot to vector 3 int. And then we got to get this out. So we have a database up here. Icon database dot get tile base from our character. So we should be able to pull our characters out. We should be able to render them on there. Let's do a build. We're going to hop back into Unity. We're going to wire some stuff up, see if the UI will do what we want it to do. Some super weird stuff with Unity. That suggestion that keeps popping up is related to records. I really look forward to Unity eventually getting the latest .NET stuff going, or at least a slightly newer version. It'd be really good. So I don't have to. Not that I have to do these things, but this has been a fun experiment. And it's going well. It's going well, but it's definitely been a endeavor, is what I'll say. I hate that it rebuilds all that stuff each time. All right, let's come back into Unity. It's still loading. There it goes. Okay, so I gotta wire this stuff up. So my combat controller needs to have a character map, which is this here. Needs an icon database, which we're going to have to construct. So we'll have to construct the database. And we'll have to link it in there. Let me do a properties here so we have it. Let's come into our config, so our data. We're going to create a data combat icon database. And we're going to add in our characters here. Okay. Our default icon, let's go ahead and add a default icon in here because we have those. Portraits. We'll do a default icon like that. And we can make it so it just shows this question mark. Can I not? Oh, I need to go back to it. Hang on. I no longer have it selected. Combat icon database, our default icon. Come on. Why are you this way? That's interesting. Please. Oh, is it this whole? This isn't an icon base. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. So there's something, I can't take that. AO and Dev, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Happy to have you here. So the tile base I was doing before was like an object out in the world I could do. I think these technically are tile bases out here that I can attach in. Oh yeah, I think this is a tile I can add in. Let's try it with this one. There it is. That's interesting. Well, now I know. Now I know. All right, let's update our icon database. We're gonna add this in here. Oh, does it let me grab that as a reference? Interesting. I have to do from my inspector. I have to drag it over in. So we have our default icon. Let's come over to our data, combat icon database. We'll attach that here. Let's add in 4 entries. It's too bad. I wanted these to be connected. It's okay. It's okay. We'll do it this way. It's kind of bothering me that it's by the name, but we could do it by an enumerated type or something as well. Let's go look at what our character names are for now. Bob. Come down to our tile maps. Bob. Boop. We have Bob, Alice, Sally. Alice. These should Sally. These should have, and then lastly, the name I have in here, Greg. Greg. Okay, so we have that wired up. We'll see if I missed anything when we hit this run button. AO1 says, my basic is coming out of beta for the 60th anniversary of language in May. How are you doing today? I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Having a blast working on this dungeon crawler. There we go. So it went ahead and drew our characters onto the map there. Look how pixelated everything is. That's great. That's kind of great. It's pretty much exactly what I want. The map to look like. It's old school. The tile size, it's pixelated. It matches the pixel sizes over here. That's great. That's great. Well, we could adjust it. The reason it's coming through this way is our texture, our camera texture. If we look at the camera, they look nicer. But the texture that we're drawing onto is a low resolution. So I'm not sure if it's low resolution to match the pixel sizes inside of these portraits. So I think I like it. We could always adjust it if necessary. Maybe, hang on. What would be the thing I need to do to adjust it? Let's take a look here. I'm gonna pull my game window out. And if I think I can adjust my camera. Let's zoom back out here. Make this a little bit bigger. So I think if I were to adjust my combat view camera, It's related to the size of it. Yeah, so if I were more zoomed in, yeah, 2. Look how that's interesting. Oh, they're like not lined up, I think, either. What's going on with it? Oh, this is in the right spot. I guess that. Oh, these tiles just are interesting and weird. Those are the center of the tiles. Yeah, I like this. And so we can have the camera pan over there. A 32 by 32. Yeah, it's right in the center. I don't like these tiles too much. It looks a little bit awkward. The pixel size doesn't match actually well. Hang on, we're gonna change our camera here. I like the size of 3 on this camera. Let's go into our character sprites need to be adjusted. Their pixel size is wrong, and maybe I shouldn't care too much about it, but I do. These guys need to have 32 for all the pixel art to match the background. Yeah, so to match the background tiles, I think those have to be 32. Thindle, let's get another hat added to the stack. We're going for it today, it looks like. We're going for a big ol' hat stack overflow, perhaps. We're getting close. Thindle, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the hat redeem. Welcome back. I hope you're having a beautiful week, my friend. We need a hat overflow. We're getting close. We're getting close. We're like 10 hats deep right now. Thank you for the hat redeem again. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stick it with that there. Like that. I like that a lot. Something I think... can close this now. Let's go look at our texture. I think I'm getting too detail oriented here. Okay, when I run this, it's gonna generate my map. What I want to do, where's IKEA though? We do have this. I'm trying not to, I'm trying to be sneaky with this art here. And not reveal too much on stream. No spoilers. So I'm trying not to get too spoilerish. All right. So when I select the character, what I want to do is I want the camera to pan to that character. So that way, we need a way for the camera to move, right? So when I have a character selected, I want it to pan to the character that we're selected so you can see them on the map. Specifically, Greg is off to the side here. Greg is over here. So what I would like to have happen is when we select a character, it'll move to that character. Or when we're hovering, it'll move to that character. So there's some trickiness involved in that. I don't think it's a crazy amount of trickiness, but we do need some references to where the characters are, and specifically we can register combat map controller. So in our character selection controller, we are able to register. So I think we need to reference up to our combat map controller, public combat map controller. And this is the overall controller itself. One thing, we either need to have this, I think we need to do, sorry. One of two things needs to happen. The combat map controller needs to know about the character selection mode, or the character selection mode needs to know about the combat controller. I think it makes more sense for the character selection to know about the combat map controller, and it will send messages, or at least where these characters are. Here, would it be bad that the player character has a position itself? The player character doesn't know anything about its position. That is all part of the combat map. So let's say you're in a board game. All right, so in your board game, the character has no reference to itself. The player character is literally this card. The player character is this card. This card does not know where it is on the map. The board itself knows where things are on the map. And then the player controls the board. So the player has no idea where it is. The card has no idea where it is on the board. It doesn't care about that. So instead, this combat map here is what knows about the state of the board, and that allows us to write the controller for our combat map, combat controller. And this lets us do the logic behind how things move on the board. It makes it easier to test. So our characters are separated. The character itself is just data. The player character is actually immutable data. You can't mutate this data. These are records, immutable data. The map updates itself as things happen. Okay, and keeps track of those things. It doesn't actually make it that much harder between two player characters at all, because two player characters don't attack each other. Their position on the player controlling the character says, I would like for this to attack. And then there's rules that manage that based on the entire state of the map. And then our player character also exists outside of the board game. That's the other thing. So our player characters are actually, I'm not in a combat map right now at all. Where's my player's XY position when I'm here? Where, so it's actually completely separate from it. Toak Bodai, welcome to the stream. What keyword did you learn today? What keyword? Was it the record? Was it the record keyword? But Nordice, challenge me. Ask me more. Ask me more. Maybe you're right. Maybe I need to have my XY on my player character. There is a little bit there. Init on properties, gotcha. Yeah, we don't see that often in Unity. I don't know that the version of C# 8, I don't believe has init in it. Okay. But yeah, challenge me some more on it, Nordice. The character selection mode controller here, our combat controller, and the player character.move to. How do they know where to move without a board? Now you need to have a board. So now the move to needs to take in a board with all of the state on it, right? The player, that's the thing. So it really is the board that manages the position of the player. The player could care, when the player tries to move into a position, it's actually the board that dictates where the player can go. If you just specify get, so init makes it so that you don't have a set method. So you can add in, it doesn't add it. Anyway, if you do get set, if you do just get, you actually lose the ability to initialize it. It does want me to put a different thing here. All right, so let me focus here just for a moment. I need to decide this character selection mode. Here is the state where we're selecting a character. This is the data type that's managing that. And when we change the selection, you can register notifications on it. And that's how we're doing our highlighting. Right? So when we highlight, we call select card. We want to pan the camera as well. So our camera needs to register on this. So really what we need Ah, what we need is a reference to our camera. We don't care about the... Well, this needs to have a reference to the board, because it needs to know where to move the board. So... I want to think about what we pass in here or have reference to. If we make this have a combat map controller. Combat map controller. So our combat map controller can have a... We need the reference here, I believe. Yeah. When we do this, when we select a card, we're going to do this, and then our combat map controller. This is taking an IX. We need the player card coming in as well. So this is where things are getting a little bit weird. We can change this to int index player character like this. Player character, and it's a tuple. That's so annoying. Can I make it? Hang on. Why am I doing it as a tuple here? I just have this. This is interesting. I wrote this in a really weird way. I wanted to name it for some reason. All right, we're gonna break some stuff here. For some reason, I wanted to name those. I must have been tired. Okay. Okay, now I can do that. On selected. All right. Do we build? Okay, looks like we build. I'm gonna set this to a default. Select card needs to have a method. Combat controller dot combat map controller. I want to add in a method pan to, and then take in a character. So this will tell the camera to move to a character on the board. Pan to, and then we pass in a character. Okay. And pan to character needs to go find the position of the character. And then it's going to move the camera to it. So we're going to need a reference to the camera as well. Camera. We're going to call this combat camera. Okay. And we're gonna look up the position of that character on the map. So we need a private combat map. Like this. And we'll have to set it to a default for now. This is the actual map that we are on. So this is where we could have put this in the selection as well, but I like the idea of having pan2 in the combat map controller. When we initialize this, when we build this, we're going to do combat map is equal to 2 build. So the one we're building gets set here. And the pan2, there's a little bit of annoyance here where our combat map doesn't have a fast lookup for these. And so I want to write a method. Then the first time I wanted to go the opposite direction. Public static position. Get position of player character. And this should try get position. Yeah, I don't like this all that much. Because it's going to go the opposite direction. This combat map. And we have to find that inside of the dictionary. Well, so I've thought about this before, Nordice. The other way would be to have it go from... I need the dictionary to go the opposite direction. But there are times when it makes sense to go this way and that way. The issue I'm running into right now is that these... I want the opposite of this. So a player character to a position, which also makes sense. But there's many times where I want a position to a player character. I actually want both of these things. And there's some interesting stuff with this decision going both ways. Because this would be solved if I had position to, or player character to position. So the dictionary going the other direction would solve the problem. Could have a player character with position that extends the player character. I thought about having a player character, like combat map player character, right? So you'd have a player character that's specifically on the combat map. And then it had like a delegate that it's like, oh, this is my parent element above me. And then I have some stuff, like I have additional features inside. That's another option. So one of the things I'm doing here in this project is I'm trying to do things sort of in a more functional way. That would be an object-oriented way to solve this problem. I'm doing it in a very functional programming way. And it's just because that's where I am currently. I'm trying to do it in a functional programming way. That's just where my current learning stage is. I'm trying to explore it a little bit in that regard. And there's some limitations there, right? So this isn't purely functional because I do have mutable state. And the question is like, how much mutable state do I want? There's more setup on the player state in that one. So I don't always want my player. Yeah. So this is where, like, creating a subclass of player character 1 that extends it and has a position would be a fine option as well. That it's interesting. Programming has that there's more than one way to do the same problem. At the end of the day, there's lots of ways to do the same problem. Something that's interesting here. Here's the thing. This particular map is really useful for pathfinding and grid selection. The other one is when I have a player character selected and I want to go the other way. And there's like room for optimization later. Yeah, we could do that. And so that's sort of what I'm doing here. This is such a small dictionary. Here's the thing. There's only going to be 4 things in it. I am pretty sure I'm just going to iterate over it and find my player character inside. And I think I'm in an interesting state now because my player characters don't have like a unique ID. So what does the inequality check on the player character even mean? And I'm trying not to just write a hacky solution right now. The minimal solution. So here's like the minimal solution would be, okay. For each position P player character PC in map.player characters, if PC equals character, return P. Throw new out of argument out of range. No character found. Character. Like this. So this is just a data object, right? So that's essentially what this is doing. You could just have a getter on the comment that return. Oh, you're saying have a getter that returns the inverse of this? That's essentially what this is doing. It's not returning a whole new dictionary. It's returning what I want. It's kind of what I'm doing here. I think I'm gonna go with this for now. I don't like that I haven't written a test for this. It feels like it makes sense. So we're gonna come into our combat map dot get position of character. And then we need to move our camera to that position. And what we can do is we do combat camera dot transform dot position. It's going to be equal to position dot to vector 3 int. And this should jump it to that position and center it. And then we'll add in a pan. I wish I had forked my repository because I had such clean code before the jam started. And then jams are not about writing clean code, right? Nordice, this is all great though. I want to say thank you so much for your suggestions. This is super helpful. I think your solution would be a reasonable solution, probably the better solution if I wasn't already going down this path of pure data representation. This idea of a combat map character probably makes sense. So it has a reference to its character card, right? Oh, I have a complete, yeah, I already did that. Nordice, I did that. I made a branch called pre-jam The problem with that is the issue tracking, right? So now I can't have issue tracking just for that branch. Like a good looking font in the end to make the code look nice again. Brilliant solution. That's absolute. Oh, we got to wire some things up. Hang on. I forgot to attach all the things that are necessary. Oh man, what a great, whimsically made, brilliant solution. Points. Whimsically made. This is a brilliant idea here. All right, so it's gonna yell at me when I go to do anything. Because we haven't added our combat controller map. This is our combat map. Combat map. Hope it's setting the, combat camera. And then this needs a reference to our combat map controller, the main controller there. These are essentially singletons. Well, that's interesting. What did I do? It is moving the camera somewhere. Let's go look at the combat camera. Yeah, it's not setting its local position. It's setting its global position. Yeah. Okay. Not what we want. We want to set local position. Set local position. There we go. Let's go. Hang on. Is there just like a set local position? There it is. So we want it relative to the map, internal map. That's funny. You can see the orthographic version of the dungeon because the camera like jumped over to some other area in the universe. We've put our grid way off in the distance so we don't interact with it. That was hilarious. All right, we're rebuilding here. Not even the entrance. It was yeah, something very interesting. The entrance to there, sure. It was one entire side wall of the dungeon or something. I don't entirely know what was going on there, but that's hilarious to me. Music's too intense for me. We're gonna switch to something a little bit more chill here. Let's go. I want to switch to something a little bit more chill. Here we go. That music is a little too much for me. All right, let's try it. And then we'll add a pan to the camera. We'll make it so the camera can pan. Maybe? What's going on? All right. Camera's going to 9 minus 2. Let's go into our scene view. The Z position is going to 0. It is moving to the right spot, but the Z position is that Z position. We have to do this weird thing where we do combat. Yes, I could make a Z position on this. -10. So we could to just be combat camera. Hang on. Vector 3. Cam position equals combat camera.transform.local position cam position to vector 3 int cam position dot z equals -10 cam position. We can't set the X and stuff on this, right? read only? Yeah. All right, so we have to do something like this. What are you complaining about? Unnecessary assignment. Oh, I see. It wants me to do this. I was gonna save the Z position. This is sort of what we should do. This will keep the original Z position. All right, we almost have this. We're gonna take a quick break here in a moment. I think we got this though. I think we're about to get it. Any moment now. And then we'll add a pan feature to it. And then we'll be ready to make it so when you select the character, it switches to the next mode. So this is just like the character selection mode. And we have the actions selection mode where we set our characters' values. Where we spend our action points. We also need a way to like pan around on the scene as well. There we go. So it moves to the character we have selected. There we go. I'm not gonna deal with the nice pan just yet. Maybe I will. The jump there is pretty cool. Okay, let's do a commit on this. Then we're gonna take a break. We're gonna top off our, I'm gonna get some Earl Grey tea. I'm just gonna top off our bean water. Get Earl Grey tea, drink some regular water, get some hydration in us. Beat, implement, combat, selection pan. Doesn't really pan, it just moves the camera too. All right, folks, hang tight. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Captain Coder will return. All right, everybody, Captain Coder's back. Missed you. I missed you. We're gonna get some stretching in, then we're gonna hop back into our code. You gotta make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your body, make sure that your body is running toppy tip. And one way you can do that is get some stretches in. Keep yourself nice and limber. Keep yourself nice and blood flowy. Get that blood moving. You don't want to get those RSIs. Let's get some stretches in, folks. We're gonna start with a lower back trunk twist here. So arms out at this side. We're just gonna rotate back and forth, nice and slow. You don't want to go fast. You don't want to hurt yourself. If you're snapping back and forth, it's easier to pull us up. Just nice and slow. Bring it to the side. Bring it back. Oh, just get that trunk twist going. Nice and easy. Arms up a little bit higher on that twist. Oh, arms up all the way. Yeah. Now we're gonna lean in just a second. So go ahead and lean to the left. Hold it there for a moment, and then we're gonna lean to the right. Hold it there. Oh yeah. Back. And one more time. Just like that. Deep breath in, stretch up as high as you can, and then as you exhale, we're gonna hinge at the hips. And we're gonna hang here. Really focusing on stretching out that lower back and glutes. That's your butt. Lower back glutes. Get that stretch going in there. Hang here for 10 more seconds. After 10 seconds, I'm gonna take a breath. Deep breath in. We're gonna inhale here in a moment here. 5 seconds in. Roll up, bring those shoulders up, back and down. Oh, shake it out. Shake it out, nice little stretch there. Keep yourself moving, keep yourself grooving, keep yourself feeling good. We're gonna hop back in here to our code. Thank you all so much for joining me for those stretches. Points add all, 125 points for all you beautiful people. I know you were out there stretching. I know you were taking care of yourself. You're welcome, CodeMuck. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us in those stretches. Okay. I would like to add in, right now, if we try and select a character, let's run it real quick. Get a little highlight to him as well. When we try to select a character. Is it enter? What button is... I thought it was space. Surprised. Our character selection. We're choosing select. Handle input. Hang on, handle user input. We just don't have, all right, so we select, I think there might be an issue here. On selected, yeah, I don't know why we're not getting this error message. Let's go look, what is our input there? It should be space, I thought. Either that or that assert just doesn't do what I think it does. Let's look at, what is the assert? Assert false. So it should just fail, right? Kind of debug.log there just to make sure. Our menu action mappings, space is select. Yeah, so it should be a space. We're looping through mapping actions. Okay. Handle input, select. Let's do a debug.log. Just to see what's going on here. Build.net build, do .net build. This will need to recompile here. Workflow in Unity just feels so slow sometimes. When I'm working in just pure .NET, it just like feels like I'm cooking. And I honestly think part of it is that I'm doing UI stuff, and UI stuff is always feels a bit tedious. Something interesting. I'm realizing there's going to be a flaw in my renderers, I believe. We'll see when we get there. The whole reason I wanted to implement this before finishing all the code, the implementation of the logic for the combat actions, was I wanted to figure out what events I needed to add and what class I need to exist to be able to send messages back to my renderers to update these and where that data is stored. There it goes. So it is running it. All right, not implemented. The debug assert false just doesn't. Okay. All right, so that is going through. When we select a character, we need to bring up the next section. So we have character, combat, character selection, mode controller. Character selection is in combat mode. Okay, let's rename this file. Character selection mode. The next mode we have is the mode that we're going to spend points. So if we look at our design document, so we have a design document here. And in the design document, we have just implemented the first part of it. Select a character that has at least one action point. All right, so it's this part here. Select a character that has at least one action point. I suppose we need to add in this stuff. This stuff's not in here yet. So we have to have a start phase that runs. That's pretty easy to add. I do need to have this a class for player turn, or some concept of where the player turn goes. And so our combat controller, combat map, character selection mode, combat mode switches sort of between these, sort of like our user input scheme, the actions that can be taken during that time. Now that we have a character, we're going to go to this phase here. Sorry. The character phase, which has 2 steps. Spend action points. We're in combat. Let's create a folder called player turn. I'm gonna move character selection mode as part of player turn. Create a new file here. It's gonna be our spend action points mode. And the actions we can take during this are move, attack, rest, and guard. So these are the action we can take. So these are the menu options we can. Josh, ooh ah, welcome to the stream. Josh, ooh ah, welcome to the captain's crew. Thank you for the follow, Joshua. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Happy Monday, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. Backseat coding is welcome. If you didn't know that, feel free to make suggestions. It's how I learn. I learned so much from backseat coding, so don't hesitate to backseat code, my friend. I'm not going to accept all of your suggestions, but I love it when you do. Or just feel free to sit back and watch and relax and ask questions if you'd like. Okay. So really, these are the input actions we can get. Put this in the same namespace here. And so we have this sort of like a menu that we have in this mode. Public. Spend action points mode. And in this mode, we have a character that we are spending points on. Selected character. And so we'll have a public player character. Selected character. It's just character. This is the character that we're modifying, that we're spending points on. Okay. Joshua says, I'm just a very new beginner in C#. Gotcha. Just interested in general development and obviously game-related development. Very cool. I've been programming for about too many years, over 20 years. I've been using C# for about 3 years. I've been doing Unity game development for about 1.5 years. C# actually closer to 3 years, I think now. 3 years. I think it'll be 4 years this summer. So I've actually been using C# for a bit of time these days. But yeah, if you see anything and you want to know what's going on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm always happy to try and explain what I'm doing if I can. That said, I'm a little bit in a crunch. We have 6 days on this jam, so we're doing a game jam here. We are making a combat system currently for our game. It's a dungeon crawler. And this is sort of what our overworld looks like this. So you move around in the world in first person. You have character cards with your character stats. So you move around like this. I'm working on combat now, and combat is going to take place on a 2D grid. And this is what combat's sort of going to look like here. And so I'm going through, I've implemented a bunch of the logic for the combat. And now we are working on actually taking it and putting it into the user interface. How does the user actually interact with this thing here? So we can select our character. When I switch between the characters, it moves between them. I haven't actually finished implementing the Spark. So what I'm doing here is now implementing go to character, spend points. And so we're implementing the part of the game, part of combat where the player spends action points. So I'm creating this thing called spend action points mode. And then we have which option we're going to be selecting here in this one. So this game jam started on Friday. I've been building my engine since March 11th. So this month, March, I will say I've been working on it since the beginning-ish of March. The game itself, we didn't know what we were going to make because we didn't have the game jam theme, but I've been building the engine to do this, for the engine for the movement for about a little bit longer than that. So we built a lot of tooling for it. We want to have a very similar thing here for handling input. Kovalaki, welcome to the stream, my friend. Congratulations on number 16. Have some bonus points, my friend. It's great to see you. Yeah, so we have our options. The options that we can do are we already have, if I go over to my combat, controller. We already have, hang on. Where are those actions? So it's part of player character then. Player character. Spend action. So these are the different actions: buy movement, buy attack, buy rest, buy guard. These are the different actions we can take. So public spend action array actions, and this doesn't have to be public, private actions. And this is just going to be, I'm going to make this a read only. Spend action dot by movement, spend action dot by attack. These are our actions that we can take. Spend action dot by guard and spend action dot by rest. This is the different actions we can select. We want to have a notion of when the player makes a choice, we need to send that off to someone. So we're gonna have a public event action, spend action on selected. Then we also have an action for when we change for when we change, let me go look at, is this the order these are in? By movement, attack, rest, guard. Okay. Is there an enum? Enum dot get values. This is really what I want. Spend action. Can it be used without arguments? Type of. All right, so then I have to do type of spend action. Oh, it's saying that non-generic method cannot be used. Action. And then I have to cast it. Spend action. Okay, we can do that. I don't know how I feel about that. Private int selected IX. Sugar Rush DJ. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? Start with the index 0 selected. And we have an on selected, on, what did I call it in my previous one? I'm noticing I'm having a pattern here. In my previous, where are my events? Wait, did I put this in a weird place? No, here it is. Where's your hats? No one's done a hat redeem since I came back from my break, so I got no hats on. You could fix that. The other syntax.net 5 or later, gotcha. Yeah, so some of these things just make me sad that we don't have them. On selection change. Okay, so we want to be able to register these. I'm noticing these are like very similar. You'll notice I have like this next and my handle input. So my character selection controls. These are the same types of controls I have on those, but I could potentially change this. All right, so I know I'm having this handle input thing here. It's funny. I might end up with some different, because I'm going to have a cancel, I think, on this one. It's the same, but there's a cancel. Spend action points. Spend action controls. Action point controls like this. The player character is actually going to get updated as well. That's the other thing that's interesting. So we're going to actually have to notify. Yeah, this is where this notify thing is coming through. So we're actually going to have something where we modify the player on this one. This becomes these. This actually becomes a spend point. And then we notify. Oh, this is actually going to be different. I'm realizing this is a on selection change needs to happen, but it's actually like a result thing that we're going to send some information back about that, like the result of this choice. And we're in a little bit of a hurry. So I don't like this copy pasted code, but it's not the worst. We're gonna do the same thing here, int and spend action. So we know which action we changed. Okay. I don't think I need the index. Next and previous, because now our next and previous are going to be controlled by up and down, so we're going to have a menu that shows up going a different direction. So I think our spend action points here, this is going to throw an exception because selecting something doesn't do anything yet. So this is our spend action points mode, and then we have the spend action points mode controller, which is the Unity version. This is the pure logical version. The Unity version needs to do some stuff. We actually spend those points. We need to do a thing. Let me get, yeah, so there's gonna be, what's interesting here, we're gonna do a try spend point on whatever we currently have selected, private. This needs to return a result, try spend point. Okay. And there's some actions here that need to happen. Specifically, we're gonna do a character dot spend action point, and it's the point that we actually have selected here. So I'm just going to pass in our currently selected point. Brindle Beard, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Give me just a second. I'll be happy to show you what we're working on. So this is going to be our spend action point, point. Spend action. We're just going to pass this off here as our spend action like this. So we're going to actually spend the action. This updates our character here in that way, and then we're going to send that off. One thing that's interesting here is my spend action point. Well, this is C#. This is C#. I'm realizing this might need, it returns our character, but we kind of want to have a result information on it. Yeah. So let me put a little to-do here, just so when I come back here, I know what I'm doing. We need to, and then I'll show you what we got. So spend action, we need to return a result in case a result of the spend. So some information we need to send, because this is gonna show information in our UI here. So we need to return a result. So we need to come up with this spend action point result class. Brindle Billard, happy to have you here. Happy Monday, my friend. Welcome to the stream. I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me. We are working on an entry for Dungeon Crawler Jam 2024. We did this last year. We had a blast with it. So we're doing traditional dungeon crawler grid movement. The game jam requires you to do traditional dungeon crawler movement. So first person perspective and grid based movement. So when you press forward, you move an entire cell forward. So you can't have like real time slow movement. Here is a build from last night that you can check. If you want to go check it out, you can. Here's a link to it. There's not much to do in it yet, but we have our world movement working. So we have a map editor. We can build our maps, can move about the world. We can, there's scripts that fire off. So this is just saying when I move into this space, change the tile there, the wall texture. We have a dialogue system here so we can interact with, we can create little events that happen. We have text output down here based on events, so we can trigger things here. They are super specific, absolutely. GD Avid, GD, welcome to the stream. This also has some scripting stuff built into it. So it's all the scripts, all of the world stuff is powered by Lua. So this is something I'm really proud of. So we can run Lua scripts directly here to modify the game as we're playing. So if we set wall solid like that, we can do stuff like context.run script. Priest was the one that brought this dialogue up. So it's all scriptable. We built an editor to do that. I'm currently working on our combat system, which is going to be a grid-based board game, essentially. So we have given some map, so we take in some map, it builds the map, it puts it out here. We have these characters on the screen we can select from. And this is what I'm working on right now, is having the characters, the combat system here, implementing those rules, that interface. So right now, you're gonna select a character. It's all keyboard based, so we're selecting a character here. When I select the character, we haven't implemented this part yet. So that's what we're gonna do here. We've implemented the logic, we haven't implemented all the interface and user controls yet. Walks in, congratulations on number 17, my friend. Welcome back to the stream. But yeah, that's what we're doing. It's super fun, I'm having a good time. So right now, we're implementing the control that says when the user does one of these actions, next, previous, select, we can do a thing. So one of the options here is I kind of want the option to go back to cancel. You can only cancel. Cancel will reset the player back to its original state. So these actions are actually like slightly different. The spend action is slightly different than what I want, actually. Spend action points, controls, next, previous, select. And there's like a cancel in here as well. Cancel will stop our spending and revert the character back to their original state. The Dev Dad, happy Monday, my friend. Welcome back. We'll create a private character, original character. Is this. So if we cancel, we want to be able to go back to this original character. So public event action, and we'll send back the player character like this on cancel. Okay. So we're going to send back the original player character if we cancel. And that one should be relatively easy. Spend action point controller.cancel. We're just going to do an onCancel.invoke with our original character here. So we're going to send that back up. So if we cancel, we want to be able to restore the character back to its original state. We are coming up when we spend this point, we want to know the results of spending it. And so I need to have a class here. It might just return a string or something. We need an action that has, I think I want to create a class for it. So we're gonna have a record here. Spend point result. And all it's going to have is a message. And then also it's going to have a player character, which is the updated character. It's the character with the new data inside of it. So this is going to tell anyone of the results here. And there's a few ways I could do it. When I do, if our character dot action points is less than or equal to 0, we can't actually do anything here. Hyper, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. Also, Deb Dad, how was your stream today? If you're busy, no worries. I know you got work. Great chatting with you a bit this morning as well. Coding Chemist, it's been a while since I saw you. It's been a while. Coding Chemist, it's great to see you. My favorite username. We're gonna do it's gonna be an action here that is our spend point result on selected on. So when we actually do something, we need to inform someone of what changed. Okay. So if the character has no points on selected dot invoke, we're gonna say, well, nothing changed. Nothing changed. And this will be a new spend point result saying not enough points. And we just return the character like that. And then we do a return here. We exit out early. Where's been getting in the way? No worries, my friend. We love having you here, but it's never a requirement. I hope you know that. Or she, happy Monday, my friend. I hope you're having a beautiful week, beautiful day. I hope you get a beautiful weekend. But yeah, Coding Chemist, it's always a pleasure when I get to see you. Thank you for popping in, saying hello, letting us know that you're still around. Always love it. Love, love, love it. All right, so spend point results here. Otherwise, we want to say what happened here. Part of me, let's do this. I want to create a string message, and it's going to be based on the action here. It's making me feel like this result should actually come from this method. And this method might be able to explain it better. And get the message back. Napalm Codes, welcome back to the stream. Because the logic on what's happening is going on here. We can also write a little thing that says what are find the differences between the things. So spent a point. I'm about to over-engineer something, so let me stop. I'm really trying hard not to over-engineer. That's something that I keep telling myself to stop doing. So we're practicing not over-engineering. So we're going to keep it simple. Here. String message there's going to be the message here. It's going to be based off of our spend action. We know that we have points. So switch. The action we're taking is the spend action here. We're going to say spend action dot by movement. And the message is going to be movement increased or spent a point on movement. I'm trying to think what is the best text here. So we're buying movement. Spent point movement increased by, and then it's the amount that it increased by. Movements points. We're just gonna say movement points, and we're gonna say how many movement points we actually have now. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So we're gonna actually spend these points, and we're gonna say, okay, now what is the character dot movement points? That's how many movement points we have. Okay, perfect. By attack, we'll say attack points, like that. Then we'll do spend action dot guard. Do character dot card dot name, switched to guard. Okay. Dot by rest, switched to rest. Otherwise, those are the only actions we have. We're gonna throw a new not implemented exception. We're gonna say unknown action, and then we'll show the spend action like this. And now that we have that, we can do a onSelected.invoke. We're going to invoke with a new spend point result, message, and character. Okay. All right. I think we have something that could work here. Dragon Spirit Games, welcome back, my friend. Thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat on this dome. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the hat redeem, my friend. Dragon Spirit, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm so sorry to hear you're not feeling well. I hope your recovery goes quickly, my friend. Congratulations on number 20, by the way. Thank you for popping in, and thank you for the hat. Got to keep that head warm. Gotta keep that head warm, and I appreciate it. Okay. In fact, this is gonna be just a spend point. It's gonna spend a point. If we select cancel, one thing that's interesting is cancel is one of the options that we have, and I kind of want it to be a menu option. Wouldn't want the cat to turn ill as well. I appreciate that. So one of the things I need to spend action points next on our selection change. One of the things we can select is cancel. So I'm not sure how to represent this, but let's go over to our Unity code now. Let's make sure we build. Because right now cancel is just sort of, you can press backspace to cancel. But it might make sense to have a cancel option in the menu. And I was kind of using this to represent my menu. And I think I need something slightly different. .NET build. In our Unity case, our character selection mode controller, we need something similar to this. And this is going to be our character, our spend action points mode controller. Okay. Spend action points mode controller. So this is the thing that actually renders stuff on the screen. So there's like a menu here with menu options, and this thing gets registered onto our character, our spend points action mode. Yeah. Character selection mode. And yeah, we're gonna invoke this. We need, yeah, it gives us the index and the character next. Okay. This thing needs to have a private spend action points mode. Spend action points mode, sure. This is the thing that we're doing under the hood. And we want to be able to set this thing. And because we're going to construct a new one. spend action points mode. It has a setter. Should also have an initialize on it. It might make sense to have a public void initialize. Action points mode. This initialize could also just take a character and then it builds it. So this could be the player character that we're gonna be doing it on. Because then we could do spend mode is equal to a new spend action points mode with the player character being passed in. So we create it this way. This is one option. We need a reference to the character card that we're using. So we have a public character card renderer. This is the render that needs to get updated every time the player character changes. Character card renderer. So it needs a get and a set on it. And the initialize here probably wants to take this in as well. It's what we need to actually do this thing. We're going to initialize character card renderer like this. And our renderer needs to get set character card render. Yeah, this is why we have to do it this way. And this is telling me that this probably be private data. No one needs to access this. It gets passed in here. And then we're going to register ourselves on this thing. So this is going to want a reference to our user input. Is it player input mapping? Our input mapping. This, and this is going to be a field. So this is the controls that the user has potentially set in the inspector, or not in the inspector. It will have an options menu where the user can set their controls, and we're going to get those out here. So in our update, when this thing is active, this is where our controls come from. And so we're going to say for each player mapping in player input mapping dot. Let's go look at this real quick. And the menu control. This is a menu that we're controlling. Menu action mappings. Okay. We're going to say if mapping dot, it'd be input dot get key down mapping dot key. We're going to forward this off to our handler. So we'll have a handler down here, private void handle user input, and this is going to translate it into our move. So this will be, suppose we could do that here as well. Mapping dot action. So it's going to be handle user input like that. And I can just use this to generate this method for us with the type. So the menu control. So now we can do a switch on the menu control. This becomes action switch. And we're going to say menu control dot, this is going to be up and down. Down is going to be our spend action points mode dot input. The input we want is going to be next. What's going on with this? This is saying that I want to switch on action. Okay. I think I might have to do to perform. Oh, what we can do is with the yeah, we'll do it to perform here. To perform dot invoke. We could say which one we're gonna do. Public. If we press up, this is gonna be previous. If we press select, the select, and then we have our backs. So this is cancel, goes to cancel, like this. So these translates in there this way. Sprint does not handle all possible, yeah. And then in the last case, we do nothing. So it just gets ignored. There's no input. So if we press left and right, it doesn't do anything. Up and down are our movements in the menu itself. Okay. Set this to our default. We now need to create, when we initialize this, we need to register our menu options as well. So it might be useful to create this menu. Dragon's Risen, how far along is this project? I have missed, unfortunately, most, if not all of your streams on this tentacle. That's okay. We have 6 days left. So I feel like we're pretty close. The combat mechanics, the last core thing I have to implement in the game for it to be what we're going to, and then story and stuff. It's the last thing left that'll make it a game. It's the last big piece aside from putting all the pieces together at that point. So we have a pretty solid, I wouldn't say completely solid, but we have a game design document with our story, how our maps, the user interactions, that stuff. I'm working on the combat system, which I'm hoping, I keep saying I hope to finish it today. Actually, I was hoping to finish it Sunday night. I ended up just taking the night off. I was very tired. And so I think if I finish this by like the entire combat system by tomorrow, we'll be in a good place. We'll be in a really good place because then I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday to finish it. And I feel like I'm on track to get there currently. And then we'll have a lot of time to polish. Trying to keep it simple. Trying to keep the game simple. The combat mechanic is relatively simple, but interesting. We could have an even simpler combat mechanic, but I want to have an interesting combat mechanic. And I wanted an excuse to do this. It's all on GitHub currently, yes. The whole thing is on GitHub. It's open source. You can go find it there if you would like. So the registration we need to do here. We need a menu option there. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. Okay. One of the things that we need to do. Awesome sauce. I appreciate that. So in our initialize, we want to say character render dot on. We want to spend action mode dot on selected. So this is going to be our. We need to register how to handle. I'm going to do handle then point public private void, and I guess we can do the following. It's going to have us generate this spend point. Okay, so when we spend a point, we're going to need a reference to our. We kind of have one. crawling mode controller dot crawling mode dot add message, I believe. Result dot message. This doesn't take in a string though, so we have to like pack it in another message. New message. Makes sense. Then this is info. This is how this constructor works. Let's import this. Let's make a default constructor for this, that if we don't specify this, public message string text goes to this of message type info text. There we go. Then I don't have to, you can just have this new message, result message. And we can make this spend point result actually return a game message. But then I have to, whereas that, it's coming from a different package, so I'm not going to do that. Well, I'm trying hard to keep that separated. It would make sense to pull message into a separate, it could make sense to move it into a separate assembly. Okay, so handle message spend point, we do that. And then we need to do our character renderer, which is our character card renderer. We will render result.character. So we update the renderer with our new state here. Yeah. Cancel might actually just go back to, we might have a list of things we've purchased. Okay, I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, folks, we're back. Okay. We are handling this. I need to, our screen will update here if I do this. The issue is I'm not rendering. We need one more thing. Spend action points when on select, on cancel and on selection change. Change. Handle selection change. And so we need to switch to the thing that we're going to select. And this is where I feel like maybe we need to change this to be menu options here. We have a set of menu options rather than these spend action points. These are the different menu options that we have. So we need one more. Public enum spend action menu item. And the different menu items are so really it's move, attack, guard, rest, cancel. These are the options we have. And these should be up here. Here and here. Here. Spend point now translates a little bit differently. Uh-oh. Go back. Why is it undoing? I need to go forward. Here we go. 3,000, not bad. If you want to redeem a board game, I just need like 5 minutes. Yeah, I'd love to show off a board game if you want to check one out. Feel free to do it. And I'd be happy to show it in 5 minutes. I'm almost at a good resting point. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Yeah. Sweet. Thank you so much. If there's a specific game you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, I'll pick 3 games and you can select one and we'll talk about, and I'll open it up and we'll take a look at it. All right, so there's a couple things here. Say if, this shouldn't be spend point anymore, it's gonna be select. We're gonna say if spend action is cancel, then we're going to just do an on cancel dot invoke and then original character like that. Okay. Ridge Raider, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack. You gonna let me pick? All right, I'm gonna pick 3 and show it to you in just a moment. Ridge Raider, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Folks, we have a board game redeem coming up, so get ready for that. Get excited. Otherwise, we need to select which spend action. Spend action. That we're gonna switch this here to option or menu item. We're gonna find our spend action. That's gonna be our menu item switch, and there's just a direct translation for most of these. Spend action move goes to spend action dot buy movement. Spend action dot attack goes to spend action dot buy attack. Spend action dot guard goes to spend action dot buy guard. Spend action menu dot rest goes to spend action dot rest. Buy rest. These are different things we can do here. Throw new, not implemented exception, not a valid unknown, unknown, unexpected menu item, and this will be the menu item. There we go. Don't have a redeem for hydrate? Maybe I should add a hydrate redeem. You can always just say, hey, hydrate. Maybe I'll add that. That's a good idea. And then this sort of follows suit here. Okay. All right, so when we spend it, we should be able to still cancel. All right, we're in a good spot. I don't like how little test I've written here. This becomes a different method. And then we're gonna write this method here. All right. Hydrate, exactly, GD. And if you want me to call you something else, feel free to let me know. Folks, we got a very awesome a member here. Skydriver has done a board game redeem. As some of you know, I am a big fan of board games. I'm gonna pick 3 games. If you ever do a board game redeem, you can try and select a board game. If I have it, I'll show it off. And otherwise, I will select 3 board games, and then you can pick which one you want. So let's take a look here at the games that we might take a look at. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go with Rune Age. This is a deck building card game, fantasy deck building card game. Rune Age. Option number 1. Option number 2. What haven't we shown on stream yet? Let's go with Ramen Fury, a card game of delicious. Let's see, what is it called? The Use Your Noodle card game, Ramen Fury. It's another card game. Let's go with something that's not a card game. That's 2 card games. Let's choose something that's not a card game. Or maybe we'll choose something different. Maybe we'll go with 3 card games. That's an interesting idea. Ooh, let's go with Era. Era is a really cool one. All right. So your options are the games you want to see. The options that you have are Era. Here's a little preview of Era. This is a territory control game for up to 4 players. Not a territory. It's like a city building game. A medieval city building game for up to 4 players. We got Ramen Fury, which is a competitive card game, speed run fast game. That's hilarious. It's about making ramen, making bowls of soup and eating them, so you can eat their soup fastest. There's a game called Rune Age, which is a strategic deck building card game for up to 4 players. Choose your game, Skydriver. Which game do you want to see? Which game do you want to see? I would like to hear more about Ramen Fury because I love ramen. Oh, I love this game. We're gonna get Ramen Fury out here. Let's take a looky-loo. I'm gonna put Rune Age back here on. Where was this? It was back. Let's set you here. That works. I think that's where. And then Era was. All right. Era. Oh, it's upside down. Here, and all the pieces fly around in this box. All right, we're gonna take a look at Ramen Fury. Ramen Fury, the Use Your Noodle game. The Use Your Noodle game. Let's get that dock cam turned on here. All right. So Ramen Fury, one of the things I absolutely love about this game is it comes, the presentation super cool. So check out this presentation on this card game. It comes in a plastic bag that looks like a package of ramen, right? So a package of ramen here. It even has the cut. It used to, the package, it had this cut along this line, and it's a resealable food packet. So it has the Ziploc there, and when you pull it out, check this out. It's a brick of dried ramen. It's a little box inside that's a brick of dried ramen. So absolutely cute. I love that about this game. Okay. The whole game fits nicely in this pack here. So let's pull these cards out. Another thing I like about this game is it's going to be a good one to show on stream. Some of the games get too big. I think I'm going to add this on Ko-fi as a donation goal to get a gaming table for this room, as long with a Elmo cam, a ceiling camera that will point down so that we can see the whole table. I don't have anything like that. Okay. So another thing that's great about this game is the instructions are incredibly short. Oh, up to 5 players. Up to 5 players. The rules are very short, very concise, and it's easy to play. And the gameplay takes about 10-15 minutes. It's not bad. It comes with these little spoons. So these are little spoons that each player gets 2 spoons on there that they start with. And you can use these to scoop stuff out of people's ramen and into your own, or from your own into others. What did you call that then? An Elmo cam? Oh, an Elmo cam is a camera that, so there's a company called Elmo Cameras. They produce cameras that point downwards. Like there's like ceiling cams. Rather than being facing front, they're designed to point from the ceiling down. Yeah, so it'd be a camera to hover over a table to look down at stuff. It's like a projection camera. Okay, so there are a couple different types of cards, but at the start of the game, each person is given 3 bowls of ramen. So 2 players, all the players get 3 bowls, and your bowl, all it has is an empty bowl here with hot water in it, and you're cooking your ramen. Your goal is to get points by eating ramen. So every bowl of ramen is going to take in a flavor packet. Right, so throughout the game, you're going to be collecting cards. And the different types of cards, you got flavor packets. so we got soy sauce flavor, we got chicken flavor, we got beef flavor, and then we have, there's shrimp flavor. Where's the Fury flavor? Fury flavor there. So these are the different flavoring packets you can get. The Fury is the spicy. So these are different flavor packets. The flavor packets determine how well your bowl scores when you eat it. So let's say I have a bowl here. I'm gonna put a soy sauce flavor packet into this bowl here. Now, what this says is the soy sauce pairs nicely with vegetables. So I might put mushroom in here. This is a unique vegetable card. I get 2 points. If I were to eat this bowl right now, I'd get 2 points because I have one unique vegetable in it. If I were to eat it with mushrooms and scallions, I'd get 5 points. And so you build your bowl as you go. But here's the tricky part. The people you're playing against have these spoons. They can use these spoons to scoop things out of your ramen or to put things into your ramen. For example, you might get some spicy chili peppers added. This is -1 point for every chili pepper in that soup. And you can have at most 5 ingredients, really 4 ingredients. You have your flavoring and then up to 4 ingredients. Once your bowl's full, you can't add anything else into it. You can eat it or you can pour it out and start over. So you lose all of the contents of the bowl. So the gameplay goes back and forth. Players take turns drawing cards, playing cards, or eating soup. And after someone has eaten their last soup, everyone gets one more turn. The game ends, and you count up your points to see whose soups were the best. Who was the most delicious ramen person there? Whose ramens were the best? So you can eat 3 bowls of ramen in this game. It's a lot of ramen, I know. It's a lot of ramen for one person. No one said this game was a healthy game. When I say it's a nice little party game, absolutely. Short, fast, you can play 2 or 3 times in an hour, maybe even 4 times an hour, but really, really quick gameplay, really fast. And it's a game, it has the Mario Kart effect. I have, ProZD, do you mean ProZD? He does like little YouTube shorts. I think I've seen ProZD. He does board game reviews and stuff, right? It's a lot of soup in an hour, yeah. So it's a fun little party game, and it has this effect I like to call the Mario Kart effect, where it's best, I think, with 4 or 5 people. 4 or 5 people. And he's a voice actor too, right, Mr. Zombie UK? Joshua, have a beautiful day. We'll be back tomorrow. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep having a beautiful day. We'll see you next time, my friends. The Mario Kart effect, in Mario Kart, the first player is slower. There's like a negative speed that's applied to the first player, and the further back you are, the more bonus speed you have, and players gang up on you. So I like this game. It's best, I think, with 4 or 5 people, because when one person starts winning, they're starting to do it real well, people sort of gang up against that person to slow them down, so it sort of self-regulates itself. It can be fun with 2 players, but it's less, it's a lot more luck. There's a lot of luck, but it's a little bit frustrating with 2 players if you're getting a bad draw. All right, Skydriver, thank you so much for the board game redeem. I hope that worked out for you. The more the merrier, exactly. Let's get this game packed back up. We're gonna put it back in there. Zalos, how do we pronounce it? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Thank you so much for the follow. Have you met Zalos? Zalos followed me today. Zalos, you know you're cool, you're great, you're grand, you're wonderful. Thank you, my friend. Zalos, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a beautiful week. All right. If I can only get these rules in there, perfect. First try. You saw that on the first try, right? Let's see if we can close it now. A little bit of shimmy shamming. Go ahead and put it back in there. What a cool container. All right, Skydriver, thank you so much for the board game redeem, folks, for being here to witness that beautiful Ramen Fury points at all. 250 points to all you beautiful people out there. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's get that dot cam off. We're gonna put this back on the stream. Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Put Ramen Fury back up here. And let's get back into our code. Let's hop back in. We actually probably want to wrap up here in a few minutes. Let the captain cook some ramen. Yeah, let's see if we can finish this feature. And then we're gonna find someone to raid. Feel free to make suggestions. The criteria that I'm currently going for is I would love to find someone who is doing Dungeon Crawler Jam. We haven't seen a lot of people doing it this year. Last year there was a bunch of people doing it. So if you see anyone, or maybe it's just the time I stream, if you see people doing Dungeon Crawler Jam, let me know, we'll go raid them. People who are new to streaming is like the second priority. So people who are new to streaming, and I want to keep it in game dev and possibly C#. If it's not game dev, then C#. Need to do a ramen stream. I pulled out of the Dungeon Crawler Jam. Too much going on. That's fair. Zombie UK, that's totally fair. All right, so if you want to queue something up, suggest a queue name of person. So if you want to suggest someone to raid in the next, probably raid in about 30 minutes, let us know. Tim, welcome back to the stream. Excuse me, great to have you here, my friend. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. So we have this here, handle selection change. We need to have, what I want to do is have a mapping for the option to the game object. So I want to have a game object that, anything about it. Lester Cab, welcome back. AA, happy to have you here. Skydriver, if you could add it using the Q command, do exclamation Q and then Yannick Dev, just so I remember it, so I don't forget, because it's going to be in like 30 minutes. So feel free to add it in there. Let me do that. Suggest a raid target using Q command. Let's go ahead and pin that up to the top there, so people know. Are you related to Kyle Hill? I'm not even sure who Kyle Hill is. The answer is no? Question mark? I'm not sure who Kyle Hill is. Gotcha. That's okay. If they're doing game dev, I love checking. Game dev is what I'd like to stick to if possible. C# would be the second one, and then if we don't have any of those, we can raid just about anyone. But that's sort of what I try and stick to. So we're gonna add in a public. It's going to be another mono behavior. There's going to be a menu item, public class menu item, and yeah, this one's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be a mono behavior, and this mono behavior is going to have text, a text mesh component, public text mesh pro GUI text. Get set default that serialize the field. Yeah, I always like finding new people if we haven't seen them. We could rate some old people as well. Braxton, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you, my friend. Oh, I love Tim. Yeah, Tim is not a new streamer would be the one thing I'd say, but feel free to suggest Tim as well. We'll see. Tim's a great streamer. I love Tim stuff. Full-time game developer, full-time Twitch streamer as well. So we have a menu item here, and we're going to do public bool is selected, and we're gonna make this a setter. So we can just set it here like this. We'll do a text. This is interesting. This is interesting because, yeah, text dot do a public selected color selected color. And we'll do the default selected color dot yellow. Public color normal color equals color dot black. We might end up switching that out. And we'll end up with a prefab for this. Is selected text dot color is going to be equal to, and then we're basically going to say value selected color or normal color, like that. So we just swap it out. Right there. It's 2 p.m. here, it's 7 a.m. here. Gotcha, Zombie UK. Maybe someday. I always feel bad. I watch a lot of streamers in my evening, and I'm never that I love, and I will just basically never be able to raid them because I don't stream at that time. So there's a little bit of a sadness to me, for me, in that regard, that I'll never be able to raid some of the people that I love, or maybe if I do a 24-hour stream or something. Ooh, that could be a really interesting one too. Dragon Spirit Games. I might have to check them out at some point just to see. I know, I'm never streaming at that time. I love to try and raid everyone I can. It's good to spread the love. It's good to see what people are doing. There's so many awesome people out here doing awesome things. And now we want to have I need to have a mapping here. So I'm going to create a public class menu item mapping. And this mapping is just going to go from, seems to be serialized, I believe. This mapping is going to go from a spend action menu item, and then it's going to go to the menu item, like the actual menu item, like this. And then we're going to have an array of these mappings. So this is going to have a field, serialized field, public, menu item mapping, and it's going to be really this. I'm going to make this of a type T, and so these will be T's. And the menu item mapping is going to be our spend action menu item, menu items, like this. And now when we do the selection, we just go in and we find the value inside of it, and we set it to selected. So we're going to do an for each item in menu items, menu item. We're going to say if menu item dot is selected is equal to menu item dot menu item dot is selected equals, hang on, menu items, there it is. Default, yeah, so with structs, so default is basically encapsulates null and like a default value for structs, right? So Yannick out, he streams in German. Okay, gotcha. Let's make sure to do, let me do that real quick before I forget. I'm gonna forget if I don't do this. I'm gonna take Yannick off. All right, there we go. We might raid Tim. Tim's a great streamer. Okay, menu item dot is selected is going to be is menu item dot item equal to item. So we're going to go through each one and we're going to handle the selection change like this. Oh, the exclamation point. This is the reason I'm doing the exclamation point is because of Unity. This is, I'm using C# 12 features, so it's saying, hey, by the way, this thing might be null, but it's something I know I'm going to be setting this in the inspector, so I'd put an exclamation point here saying, please ignore this warning so that I don't lose my mind. That's what I'm doing with that. Okay, so I wrote a lot of code here. I always feel like I write a ton of code when I'm doing stuff with Unity. Let's see if we can add in one of these. And see if we can get it working. See beyond that many. I don't know. I missed the context of that Dragon Spirit. Sorry. Let's build one of these. We're gonna add a menu to our screen here. Ah, gotcha. I appreciate you looking. A lot of times, there have been a lot of new people, but it has slowed down a bit this month. So in January, it was like there was tons of new people. And a lot of them have faded into obscurity, and so we never saw them again. And then some of them have stayed strong, so we might end up rating them again. 2 Nerdy Nerds is always a great option as well. We'll see who we have. But I would like to add in a menu next. I think so. I think a lot of people were really inspired by Thor as well. So we're going to create an empty canvas here. And this is going to be our combat menu canvas, just so we know that it's a canvas here. And inside of this, I want to add in a panel. Okay, so there's going to be a panel. Why am I not seeing this? Where is this canvas? Panel. Interesting. Don't see this panel. It should be taking up the whole space here. It probably is behind a bunch of stuff. So we need to set it to an order. There it is. All right, so this would be on top. Would you consider who makes mostly game art to be a game dev? Yeah. Because in the case, I also offer Joxonmon. Yeah, if they're working on a game art totally counts. I mean, you're thinking that maybe they're streaming in, the game art category or something. That would be okay. Okay, so let's set our width here. Our combat canvas, our size. Let's stick with our scale with screen size. The size of our game is 640 by 320. That we can think of it in pixels here. Let's make our panel 200 pixels wide. Okay. And we'll have it be relative to the top right corner. And let's give it a -10, -10, move it down a bit. Let's give it a height of 200 as well. So we have like a little menu pop up here. Okay, and we're gonna call this panel. This is going to be our spend points panel. There's kind of two of them. There's gonna be one on either side. Streaming art for a game called Demon's Tilt. Neat. Balint, how you doing, friend? It's great to see you. We're gonna want to have this. We're gonna have like a menu dialog here as well. I'm just gonna make it this hideous color for now. And then I'll tell my artist, well, we need something. We're gonna need something here. Yeah, and let's put some text inside of it. So let's add in let's make this a vertical layout group. We're gonna add in some menu text. All right, so let's come down to our prefabs text. Do we have dialogue text? Okay. Let's go ahead and add this into our spend points panel. We say that we're allowed to control our child's width. It's interesting that this dialogue text is going to be too big. I need to make a different text item for it. Let's create a new one. It's going to be our menu text. I don't have a menu text option yet. Always wonderful to see you as well, Science folks. If you guys don't know Science, incredible Scantalus. If you guys don't know Science, incredible streamer, science communicator, artist, gamer, variety stream over there, super fun. Always learning something new. If you like to learn something, if you like to have fun, be sure to check out Science streams, folks. Incredible stuff happening over there. So I need to create a new Text Mesh Pro. This is going to be our menu text. And I'm going to make this a prefab. It is going to have our same font. Let's make it a size 16, feels pretty good. So the types of action here, I want maybe make this a little bit less wide as well. So this is going to be move. Yeah, let's apply all. Let's duplicate. And there's going to be 4 options. So we have menu text. So it's going to be move, attack, guard, rest, cancel. These are the different options we have. Okay. The height on each of these, is there an auto? I can make this control their height, right? There we go. Let's add in some padding. And some spacing so we can see what that looks like. There we go. That looks pretty good. Attack. This is going to be our guard, rest, and cancel. Right? And I feel like this doesn't need to be so wide. There we go. 100 is pretty good. And then we can shimmy it over. Oops, not what I want. Move it. We shimmy it over so it's not blocking all of that. Yeah. So that'll come up, and this is the actions we can take on it. Okay. We need to make this a menu item. And the text itself it's just itself. What does black text look here? Does black look okay? What about yellow? Yeah, it looks fine. Those are the 2 colors that will make it. I'm gonna go ahead and make this start out as yellow. And then these other ones, let's apply all. These other ones, I'm actually gonna make these start as black. So this is going to be our option menu as it comes up. And we need to add in a new controller. Let's create a parent here for our controllers. We're going to call this controller. And I need to create a new game object. This is going to be our spend action controller. What are we calling this? This is our spend action points mode controller. Getting some long names. Spend action points mode controller. Perfect. Our input action mapping is going to be our user-defined controls. We're going to add in the menu items here for this. Okay, so the different menu, we're going to have 5 menu items. And the menu items are the move menu. We have the attack menu. Let's keep going. We have guard. So we're just wiring these things up. Unity is great for just wiring things up visually, seeing what we visually can, what it visually means, what it's going to look like. Give us a little preview here, and then cancel. These are the different things we have for cancel. Okay. On cancel, yeah, we need to register what we do on cancel as well. Cancel is basically going to disable this, and it needs to go back to our combat controller. Tell our combat controller that we're canceling. But essentially, spend action point mode dot on cancel. I think this is just a regular old action. Oh, we get the original character back, right? So when we cancel, we should do character render the character. We're gonna go ahead and hide ourselves. Game object dot set active false, and then we need to go to our. We need to say when we cancel, we go back to character select in our controller. So our combat. Should probably call this combat mode controller. Or we need a high level thing called combat mode controller. Combat. We'll leave it as combat. It's gonna break. It's gonna make things crazy if I do this. The wiring I have in it will come undone. So I kind of want a combat mode controller up top. That's gonna control these different windows. Because what's gonna happen is our combat map controller, where's the other controller? Our character select controller is going to be running at the same time as this thing. So let's just test this out. I'm going to disable our character selection mode controller, and our spend action points controller should be on. And so I should be able to move up and down. Oh, I didn't initialize it. Never mind. There's no initialization on this. I need to, yeah. I'm gonna need to have, yeah, so the up and down aren't gonna work just yet because this needs to actually have the initialize called. And this needs to happen in our combat map controller. So this needs to know the different modes we can switch between. Yeah. Or our spend action points needs to know. This is another option. Public. And then I think this could work. Spend. All right, so this would be spend action points mode controller. Spend action mode points controller like this. Controller. What are you complaining about? Oh, I need to put this in my, sorry, this would be my character select control. I didn't mean to close my queue there. This character selection mode controller needs to know, yeah, that when we do this select, we go where the player character is coming from becomes a question. I think it makes sense to have our combat map controller. Do this for us. Okay. So combat map controller. It's going to need one of these. It needs a character selection controller. Character selection mode controller. I'm gonna call it select. I'm just gonna reduce the selection mode. Spin action. I don't know. Character selection mode, spend action points. The initialize for this. Delay! Welcome back to the stream. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. We're making some incredible progress here. Things have been progressing super well for us. Our character selection here. There's this initialize. Our map controller. Here is where our characters are coming from. Let's do... We're slowly bubbling things out here, and it's making a lot of sense. But welcome back to the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. It's always wonderful to see you. And welcome back. Private player character. Like this. So we're gonna have to pass in our player characters. It's gonna be our characters. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna pull this out here. We're getting rid of this awake thing. We're slowly bubbling these things outward. Okay, so now we're not gonna initialize when we wake up. That's okay. The initialize is gonna be called by our combat map controller. When we initialize public void initialize, and this is actually going to type in a combat map. We're going to pass this down here. This comes into our initialize like this. Comes our build map. And then it does the following. Character selection control. Character, it's this one. Character selection mode controller. Dot initialize characters. Then we're going to enable it. Void start character select. Like this. When we initialize, we go to the character select mode. Start character select. And it's showing me that we need to do some stuff. Did you say you were on Pacific time? Did you start streaming at 4 a.m.? I did start streaming at 4 a.m. local. Mendoza, welcome to the stream again. Great to see you. Always wonderful to see you here. Have you always had a 2001 at the end of your username? I don't look. I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes. Like, how did I never notice the H Mendoza 2001 before? Is that new or has that always been there? We do this initialize character selection controller. Character selection mode controller dot game object dot set active true, and we need to disable. We're gonna see that we end up swapping these things out. That game object dot set active false. We should only ever have one active. And so there's going to be like a mode that we pass. There needs to be an enum that we pass in that switches to morning, caveman crafting. Things are going wonderful, my friend. I hope you're having a beautiful day as well. It's always been there, Mendoza. I don't know how I didn't notice it. I don't know how I didn't notice it, or maybe I did, and like my brain, like, huh, is that new? Public void start spend action points. And this needs to have a reference to our start character select. The character that we're doing player character selected. because this will be our spend action points mode controller dot initialize selected. Selected, and also takes the character renderer that we need. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna need the character card renderer. And we're gonna forward that off there. And then we swap these. There'll be a little thing. There's gonna be something that we have to do here. Yeah, go back to the character select. Okay. Okay, character selection controller. Here, this becomes our IX and selected. This is going to be our combat map controller dot. Start spend points. Our render is going to be card of IX and selected. So we should be able to switch to that screen now. Julian, welcome back. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Any day I can wake up and code is a beautiful day, and today is another beautiful day. I don't have a hat. Yeah, that's it. It was stored into that hat there. The logic, the memory. No, Julian, you're the best. You're the best. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's always wonderful to see you here. It's the Hat Ram Do, right? Unselected. Okay, so our comment back. And then in our spend action mode controller here, when we cancel, we re-render that character. And then we go back to our combat map controller dot start. We need one of these here. It's all intertwined. There's a little bit of spaghetti going on, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. It feels a little spaghetti, but we're game jamming, and that's gonna happen a little bit in when we game jam. All right, so our combat map controller dot start character select like that. So it's gonna go back to the character select. Okay. Let's do a build. Let's add some more wires. Yeah, I need some singletons essentially, right? Dependency injection would be what I want to do here. Where I say, okay, well, this is my one, this is the controller, this is that controller. Because really, this thing is a singleton, right? The combat map controller is a singleton, so we could do an interface and have it injected around, yeah. Chalibu! Welcome back to the stream! Look at those points, 18,000 points, that's a lot of hats. That's a lot of hats, my friend. I think I forgot to do, I think I already did a build, but I've been going long enough that my brain is a little bit melty. Oh, I think I know who we're gonna raid actually. Barrels. I've never raided Barrels. We'll see if she's still live. See if they're still live when we finish this up here. Just because we've never raided them. They're the person that got me into game dev. Shalibu, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get another hat on this stack. We're 3 hats deep, folks. Shalibu, thank you for the hat. Thank you for being here today, my friend. Thank you for the hat. All right, so when we start this up, it should automatically switch to the character select mode. And then initialize, we're gonna bubble that down as we keep going. It Keep bubbling. Keep on bubbling. Keep adding events to pass information back and forth. Okay, when we click run here. Oh, there's a 3-hour cooldown. Only one hat per 3 hours. You gotta work as a team. You gotta work as a team. Otherwise it'd be hat overflowing. I'm thinking I'm gonna add in a bonus hat command though. That's it. Oh, I didn't do any wires. I didn't actually wire anything up. All right. Combat map controller needs our character select mode, and then our spend action points mode. We need the combat map controller here. And I think those are the changes we made. Let's give her a go. And something spend action point. Oh, it didn't actually turn off. It disabled that, but that needs to, it's not hooked up to this menu is separate. Okay. So I'm currently on the select. So I can select a character. If I hit select, now I can choose a menu. If I hit cancel, I'm back to character select. Okay. So I can come into my menu and select these different things. Attack, not enough points. Guard, rest. It's because our character has 0 action points. Not enough points. That's funny. All right. All right. That worked out. The one little thing here that needs to thought. When this is enabled or disabled, we need to have a reference to the actual visual menu, or yeah, I think I like the idea of it being separate. What's with the hat? Migsy89, people can redeem hats, ! Hat for 500 channel points, for 500 Captain Coder coins, get a hat added to the stack. So we got 3 hats, because Captain Coder wears many hats. And we learn about stacks. We learn about stacks through hat stacking. It's just fun. Good question. Migsy, how you doing, friend? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the stream, I believe. I hope you're having a beautiful day. What's going on here? I need to attach this. So this will be our menu. I need an actual reference to the menu. Public game objects menu. So it's like the actual menu, like that. Thought you were celebrating. I'm not sure what that is. What is that? And when we have an enable, so we'll do public void on enable menu dot set active true public void on disable. No, I'm not celebrating that. It's a custom, which people wear customs. Would it be this type of hat though? I don't know. I'm culturally ignorant of that. I'm ignorant of all that of that. Okay, so let's do a build. Captain Crab with the bonus hat. Let's get another hat added to the stack. Captain Crab, Tim Spurgeons. Tim, thank you for the hats. Let's get a second hat on. Boom, boom. With the old double. Captain Crabs, good morning, my friend. Dev Rowe, send us down hat stack overload mode. There we go. There we go. That's the right number of hats. 135,000 points. Devro killing it, folks. Do you guys know Devro? Devro. Oh, I need an underscore. Devro, be sure to give him some love. Streamer, 3D artist, game developer, master of all things amazing. He'll even teach you, what you redeem, Devro? It teach you, forget what words, curse words. Teach us German curse words, is that correct? Captain Krabs, Devro, great to see you. Welcome back to the stream. We're working on our dungeon. German curse words, that's hilarious. Yeah, you can learn German curse words over on Devro's stream. It's a channel redeem he has. It's hilarious and I love it. Okay. All right, let's wire this up. So the actual menu is this thing. Boom. All right. I should give these guys some points so we can spend them. All right. So we can select the character. Can cancel. Not enough points. When this thing gets shown, you'll notice there's some interesting things going on. It currently thinks the top slot is selected. Well, because it is, it just didn't render it. Okay. So a couple little things I gotta fix there. Omid King. Welcome to the stream today. Omid King. Thank you for following me. Omid King, welcome to the stream. Happy Monday, my friend. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. So wonderful to have you with us on this beautiful day. This beautiful day. Okay. So when we do this select, when we initialize, we need to set, rather than this, it should be selected index. Character mode selection, don't we have a, oh, this should be our, oh, interesting. We're doing 0 just to highlight it. We want to go back to the index that we were currently attached to. So our character selection mode. Let's make this a public. And we're gonna make it a get private set. You can't set it, but you can observe it. Okay. And now down here, we can actually say that this would be our character selection mode. Interesting. So it's gonna reset it when we initialize. I think it's okay. It feels a little bit weird. Maybe we want you to be able to set this. So we want to go back to the character that was selected. At the very least, okay. At the very least, I want to call select card on 0 and then do characters of 0. At the very least, I want to do that. So it'll clear the highlighting. So it's going to cancel, go back. You have to reselect the character. It's a little bit annoying. Similar thing in our points controller. We need to do a selection change when we initialize. We'll do handle point spend. Creates a new one of these. Okay, so at the very least, we want to do handle selection change, and then it's the first option in our menu, which would be, which happens to be move. Spend action menu.move. For initialize, that's fine. On cancel, what's interesting is we need to have like a selected character. Start character select, public void. Yeah, we'll add that later. We'll add that later, or we go back. It cancels is going to bring us back to the original character selection screen. Let's give these characters some points as well. Action points equals 2. So we can watch them being spent and restored on the cancel, hopefully. Let's give 1, 3, 4, just to see these things. All right. I said 30 minutes. We've been going for 40 minutes now. But we're almost there. We're almost there. Captain Krabs, I just saw your mother. I can only teach you housewife curses. That's how you know I'm tired and focused. Because I missed this hilarious. I can only teach you housewife curses. Basically, how to cover up your curses from my wife. Oh boy. Game dev streaming is addictive. Can't get enough. That's why I stream every day. Stream every day, stream every way with the beautiful people here. All right. Do this. When I cancel, it should go back to the first character again, which would be Bob up there in the top left. Specified argument was out of range. Interesting. All right, so line 18. Combat map, line 18. Interesting. Combat map controller line 111. Because the character... That is interesting. Just to make sure. Yeah, we're trying to pan to the character. Which is what we want to do. But it's telling us on our map no character was found because our map hasn't been initialized? Or because the character we're selecting, it's because I've added these action points and now something, see the characters here and here are different. Okay, so I need to add them in. That makes sense. This makes sense. Action points equals 2. Action point, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Down here, we're just gonna add them in for each player character. We have to do this, but that's a lot of hats. Sneaky Snake, we got a couple. It's a couple. They're coming after me with the hats. Keeps my head warm, keeps my neck strong. You know how it is. You know how it is. We're just gonna add, we're gonna add a map dot player characters of new. position 2 2 equal to characters of 0, like this. If you got enough points, 500 points. What's the point of making classes next to each other and not in the same document? What's the point of making classes next to each other and not in the same document? So you're asking, why would I put them in separate files? I think is what you're asking. Let's put this person further away. 0 2 top right corner. Let's put this person 4 3 1 2 3. That. Ridge Raider says, Captain Coder quesadilla with a hat quesadilla. Sneaky Snake, is that your question? Are you asking why I put them in 2 separate files? It's mostly for organization purposes and standardization among different developers. Or I can make a different file and make then. So it's telling me it wants us to be read only. That's fair. It's purely for organizational purposes. Typically better to do separate. Yeah. You can put logical things together in the same file, but it does make it a little, it's sort of what your team is doing. So for example, in my project here, I have probably 150 different classes, right? So all in one file would be nightmarish to try and look through. But yeah, as a solo developer, still better. So my question is, would you rather have one file that is 50,000 lines of code, or, I mean, that's an exaggeration too. There we go. All right, so we can select. That's interesting. Oh, she's off. I put her in a weird spot. Where's Alice? It should have been 9, 2. It's common to put them in separate files. The most common is separate files, and some languages actually force you to put them in separate files. C# gives you a little bit of freedom to shoot yourself in the foot a little bit. So I have this problem where I'm prototyping and I have a bunch of classes in one file and I've like lost them. And I do. You're asking, how do you open a new class? Exactly, Dragon Spirit, exactly. So it's about separating it for organization purposes for yourself. It's going to depend. Right? What is movement? What is attacks? Is movement, so is it like those are different actions a player can take? There we go. So we can select a player. What I'm finding interesting is the action points are not rendering. They rendered there. See, the action points went down to 0. The movement went to 3. But now I have no more points. If I cancel, it goes back. Attack points goes on. The attack points didn't go up though. Move did. Attack points aren't rendering, which is interesting. That's interesting. I have to look into what's going on there. This should show the number of attack points I have, I think, or the number of action points. Maybe at the top of this menu, I say how many action points are available. So there's a little bit to do there. All right, folks, we got to wrap up for now and find someone to raid into. Tim Baudet was Tim Baudet, not Tim Baudet. Tim Baudet was our recommendation. He's a longtime streamer. Let's see if we can find someone. Oh, Barrels, I think, is streaming. Who I've never. Let's see what they're doing. Take a look here. All right, I thought I saw Sloppy Barrels. So Sloppy Barrels is the
hard time when, like,
person who got me into
my
game
layers
dev.
aren't fucking organized. But
So
also,
I know they're not
I can
doing
think, even with how
game
organized
dev.
I am with layers and
Maybe
stuff,
we won't do that. That's okay.
I
Yeah, join the Discord. We got some
cannot,
good,
like,
good people there. Let's raid Tim. Maybe full box. I never know who to raid. Let's raid Tim. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be continuing work on our Dungeon Crawler Jam. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. We will be back. Have a beautiful day. Dandy McGee, have a beautiful day. I can't have this many hats. I know. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I'll be back tomorrow.